Is everyone accounted for? Nobody's falling off? Nobody. Oh my. Oh my, where's my lights? There's my lights. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful, guys. I don't know how long. Come on, Chaz, let's get the show on the run. What are we getting on the run here? Exactly. What are we doing? What are we doing? People kept telling me, no, I was going and talking to somebody in case I leave and go. Hold on. Unless I leave. I hate seeing the reflection of the lights. If we were in an area where I didn't have to use ring lights to have proper lighting on the show, then I would wear the glasses. But with them on, guys, look at that. It looks like I'm Terminator right here. You know? Like, what the hell? It doesn't make sense to me. Piss break Disney. Hold on. The chat's talking. Oh, no. The chat's talking. Oh, my. Oh, my. I was just talking about this. Did y'all guys see the video with the plants with the Wi-Fi on versus the Wi-Fi off? Dude, that's crazy. So they put like this dirt with seeds in it in two different tanks. And in one tank, they put Wi-Fi on, like just a Wi-Fi signal device, and the plants didn't grow versus the one where the Wi-Fi was off with no Wi-Fi around and the plants grew in like the same amount of time. And the dirt just stayed dirt with Wi-Fi on. It was pretty crazy. Somebody said they just got back from Miami Homestead. Actually, I see why I had the glasses on. They just make it so HD, you know. These DIRTTRACKCHAZ glasses, they're just so damn badass. You could just see everything pinpointed perfectly. We do have a cough, though. Obviously, if y'all were here earlier in the week, I think it was earlier this week, right, where I couldn't really talk. It had to be, yeah, because I was at Cotton Bow Saturday. I think. Or was it the week before where I couldn't speak? No, it was the week before, wasn't it? I can't remember. The days go by. I get so busy paying attention to X, Y, Z, and it's just like, oh, my God. There's so many things going on all the time. What's up with the chat? Chat's very quiet tonight. Is it just too early? Too late is what it is, right? It's too early. Or no, it's too late. Which one is it, guys? I guess nobody has anything to say this evening. Is that it? Do we have nothing to say? Is there really anything to say? I mean, I guess that's pretty much the question here, right? Is there anything to say on the show tonight? I didn't really think there was, to be honest. I wasn't convinced. I was sitting here and I had people texting me, hey, you should go live. And it's like, why? What am I going live about? What could I possibly go live about today? What could possibly be a story that is a 5-year legend? I mean, legendary story. I was telling the people, I was like, this is probably the biggest story in the last 5 years. You know, and I can't say a damn thing. But it's coming, I think. I could be being lied to. This could be like a test. You know, they tell you, the test is they tell you this really true, crazy shit, and you got to be quiet. So we're getting tested tonight. And no matter what happens, we're not failing that test. No, I'm just kidding. But the chat's just too quiet. Is somebody going to call? I got to have somebody talk to me. This is what I was saying. I wanted to talk about stuff. You know, I do have things lined up, I guess you could say, to talk about if you are going to be that boring in the chat. I thought y'all were on something. Here's my thoughts on Tanner Holmes. Is Tanner Holmes better than Justin Sanders? Wow, that's a stretch, Charlie. Let me ask you this one. Does Tanner Holmes, I'm going to say, is this statement false or true, chat? Let's hear y'all's response. I have a questionnaire, live questionnaire. Is this statement true that I'm about to say to you? Tanner Holmes has more national sprint car racing experience than Justin Sanders. I mean, is that a true? I think that's true. It's close. I know Sanders got out there with Macri, but I mean, Holmes jumped out there. I mean, he went into the world of outlaws. Like, even though California defends the world of outlaws really good, and there's a couple of them out there that are from California that are really good, they are. But if you was to jump on the world of outlaws like Tanner Holmes did full time, there really ain't nobody in PA or anywhere California that there ain't nothing tougher than that. There really ain't nothing tougher than the world of outlaws when it comes to running sprint cars week in and week out, night in and night out. New track every week, new track every day. And it ain't, this guy didn't show up this week. No, here's the 15 or 10 or at least the 5 or 6. If Donny throws a damn Chevy in one day, then he could be one. I said it in the video I put out today. So solid 5 minus Donny doing something to fix that Ford scenario. I'm going to start going off on it. I'm going to start going off on it if it don't change. I said it in the show the other day. I posted a video about it today. I'm so fucking pissed off at this Ford deal. When we went down the stats, and this is funny, 2 months ago, y'all were watching, we went down the Donny Schatz stats. It was a David Gravel episode. And in the David Gravel episode about his potential winning totals, eclipsing Danny Lasowski and I believe one other guy. No, I'm missing the list. Traditionalists hate me. But we were saying, let's see how much Outlaw Racer has won in 1 year. How much you could get, because I think Gravel needs 37 to pass either Lasowski or Wolfgang. I think it's Wolfgang, actually, if he does 37. And so we were looking at it, and I go, oh, Donny Schatz, 25, 21, 31. Oh, my God. And then we went to the next year. It's like, when did it end? And it went from like 30-something races to like nothing. And that was the first time I really saw it. Because when that was happening, I was running racetracks or trying to help run racetracks or be a part of a group, try to make this thing big in local racing areas. This is why I sympathize with the track promoters and relate to them more than these national series that suck off the track promoters. They have to have a place to race. I mean, okay, well, so once a year you come in and look better than what we do every week. But regardless, I think it's a really hard deal to be a track promoter or a part of a local racetrack promotional group. It's really hard. Regardless, I didn't know about this Donny Schatz scenario of how bad it dropped off when it went from Ford or from Chevy to Ford. And it blew my mind. I really got to covering the national scene hardcore from that local ideology about 2019 or 2018. No, 2017. Yeah, 2017 to 18. That's when I started really going national. So, and worrying and paying attention to that. So, I didn't know that drop was so big, guys. I had no idea. So, it was just like very alarming. But regardless, you got 5 or 6, I'll say 5, really good guys on the World of Outlaws. And they're not local competition, back to Tanner Holmes. It's just not a local thing. I think what Tanner Holmes experienced, and even though he ran shitty sometimes, was decent experience. That you have to take a leap to attempt to do. I think that goes a long way. I think that's why Tanner Holmes, if he really starts going on a string here in the 21 car, I think this is why, a guy like Tanner Holmes could start doing very well by going through those gauntlets. He did come back last year and didn't, look the best in the world. I get it. He had a shot at a high limit win almost, I believe, at his local track. I think he finished second. But, or third or something like that. I believe he's on the podium for that, the racetrack where everybody got tickets for parking on the highway. Y'all remember that last year? Possibly the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. I think it was Chase Rodman say to the crowd on a Flow High Limit Racing broadcast. I think they were at that track that Tanner Holmes was local and was good at. And he said they had like a drone shot of the facility. And then for some reason, I guess that made Chase think, I mean, he's good in commentary. He'll talk about anything he sees on the screen like he's not there, which is good. I think he sees himself in third person very easily. And I think that's why he does some of these things. But he said, oh, look at the picture. It was something like, look at the picture, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, by the way, on that camera, you know, apparently there was so many people parking here that, you know, those cars parked on the highway, the state troopers are all out there writing them tickets. That's what he said. He commentates at that as if it's comical, which is great. That's gold. But that was probably one of the most funniest high limit moments I'd seen last year on a broadcast. Just to be able to say it so easy, like it's a joke. Like they're getting rid up for parking illegally. But Slider dies, Chevy still in then. I don't know. Somebody said they tried to call. I mean, like I said, I have topics. We can run down them real quick because I don't really think they're that impactful. I don't really think that they're anything special. Obviously, this week, Lawton Speedway and Central Arizona are going head-to-head this weekend with the Outlaws and High Limit. So Lawton Speedway, you just saw a little ride there on the tractor of the track getting ready. It's a very nice little facility, long straightaways, tight corners, decently banked quarter mile. Is always put on good sprint car races. Is a groomed racetrack for sprint car races. I believe the Edwards family originally owned this racetrack. I do believe that's Lanny Ross Edwards, the son of legendary Lanny Edwards, who's on that tractor. At least I've seen him on a tractor a long time, and that looks like him. I'm just saying. So this was like the Edwards original track. I do believe this is how the story goes. Of course, the Edwards were the people who ran the Devil's Bowl Speedway, which helped start the World of Outlaws. So it's a sprint car mentality that operates Lawton Speedway. So I think that's why the sprint cars race there good every time. I think it's going to be a good one. You could have, this is another one of those short track specialist race facilities. I think that has benefited, in my opinion, on the World of Outlaws when they go to short tracks. And I think of a favorite to win that race. The guy who pops into my head every time now is Buddy Kofoid. To me, if the World of Outlaws are coming to your local race and your track is a quarter mile distance and it's a bull ring, you got to worry about Kofoid the most of anyone there. And I say that based on watching the last couple of weeks. They've been on some short tracks in the past as well. And Kofoid's done extremely well on them. And like I said, what I saw at KSP was impressive. What I saw at Jacksonville was impressive. Last year, I mean, look at his West Coast swing. Every time the Outlaws go to the short tracks, the 83's up front somewhere. He's top 3, top 2. He's winning. I just feel like that Buddy Kofoid is the best when it comes to short tracks. So I don't know what the betting odds are. Can we look at what the bettings are already here on Underdog? Because we're in Texas, we can bet right now. But if I drive up to this race, which people are trying to get me to do, I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat with, finances and repairing the car. Anybody see I fixed my damn car myself? I did the damn timing belt, which is not easy. I hope you know that. I had to take the whole Basically, I know how to do everything on my motor now, except maybe change the engine or transmission. Belts, everything. I had to go through the whole damn. It was hell on earth. But anyways, if we go to Oklahoma, if we go to Lawton tomorrow, I don't know if we can bet in Oklahoma on Underdog. So we do have the bets on the screen. Oh my, we need the bets on the screen now. Hold on. Can we get the bets on the screen? Let's see. Or what the odds are on the screen. This would be fun. First of all, let's see if we can actually bet on this race tomorrow. If we go to Lawton tomorrow. Venmo, PayPal links in the description if you want to help make that happen. We just been fighting bills this whole entire, and we've been on the damn road for, golly, what is it now? We left January 24th, I think. So 2 months we've been on the road solid. 2 months. So it's not easy. It's hard out here for a pimp. But anyway, looks like you can gamble in the state of Oklahoma. All the states in yellow, you can bet on the World of Outlaws and High Limits series. But you living in PA, you living in Ohio, you living in Mississippi, Michigan, you can't. And then the clear gray colored states, you cannot, which is very odd for Iowa, and it's centricated right there, and it doesn't really make sense. Simply, you would think maybe the politics are different, but really every color of every politic and lifestyle is surrounding that state. I mean, Illinois is blue, Minnesota's blue, Michigan's blue. I mean, there's a lot of red people, but then you got Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri. These are heavy red most of the time. South Dakota usually. I mean, so it's like a split, and they're all in it. So what the hell? I do not get that. But let's see if we can get these odds up on the screen. That would be really, really cool. Let's see here. Hold on. I don't even remember my damn login. Hold on. Let's see. Oh my, we're doing this live. This is funny. Oh, okay. Cannot check location on the laptop. That's just beautiful. That sucks. Getting that would have been awesome. Dang it. Getting that on the screen at least to see what the odds are. I'm thinking Buddy Kofoid's gonna destroy him. So I guess I can read them off to you. Let's see here. Emerson Axum. I got Emerson Axum at 7.5. Now that's one. I mean, and a lot of the people were worried about Power Eye maybe splitting this field up, and losing some guys, a Sam Hateforteep or somebody to Power Eye at TMS. It's not looking good for the weather reports, guys. Just saying that right now. So TMS is probably not going to get it in. Lawton probably will. And if TMS does rain out, they're going to rain out early because the rain is just so heavy in the morning to the noon or 1 o'clock time that most people are thinking it's not going to race. By 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it'll be clear and all that. But I just feel like, if TMS is going to cancel, it's going to cancel early, and you could get some additional cars at this Lawton race, which that's about a 3.5-hour drive, I believe, between the two. Regardless, Emerson Axum, to me, this is a good bet. USAC-style short track guys usually perform well on quarter miles, and I think this is going to be another one of those cases. Emerson Axum, obviously, a superior non-wing sprint car driver, and look how many times Brady Bacon has beat the Outlaws at Hobstadt. So, yeah, track like this, long straightaways, tight corners, you got to almost, you could drive a wing car similar to a non-winger. You can really drive her in there, and Emerson's looking good with the wing on it. That micro background, I think, is helping a lot there. So I think that this is a situation where I'm going better on Emerson Axum 7.5. That's kind of deep. 7 cars. Think about it. 7th isn't easy. I mean, I had $345 locked up on a $10 bet at Cotton Bowl with 5 or 6, 7 to go. and I lost it. I had $345 on a $10 bet. It was a 33 times. And I lost it. I was so fucking mad. I'm not even going to talk about that. I was so upset. So upset. But I was so close. So follow these bets. Oh, wait. Logan Schuchart, 5.5. What we thinking, guys? Logan Schuchart, 5. I'm not lying here. That's tough. That's tough. I want to say yes because he hasn't been that bad on the short tracks before. And he's running very strong this year, sitting second in points. Now, I hate to say this, but this one I might go worse. I'm going to skip Logan. I'm undecided. If you can't really decide on some of these, see what the other options are. Because you really need to pick 2 to 3, or 3 really, to really make any kind of coin. 2 is a low deal. You could still bet it, but it's very hard. But 3, that's where you got to at least pick 3 of the options. You got to pick better or worse on their position. This one I'm going to pick worse, and I think I'm going to lock that in. I think Kofoid's going to be good. I think you're going to have a surprise run by somebody who's going to be up front and good. And that just doesn't leave any room for David Gravel. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm sorry. There's no room for you and David. It's so sad, is it not? I feel like I'm Trump when I'm talking to you right now. There's no room for you in the top 2. David Gravel is a 2.5 right now. So Vegas is saying David Gravel 1 or 2 versus the field. And they're saying this consistently. Actually, I think I bet better on him at Cotton Bowl on the Saturday night portion where I had my 345 lined up, So I just think that this Lawton situation is going to be a little different. I think Kofoid's going to be in the top 2, who was second to Gravel last week, I believe. And I think you're going to have a surprise, somebody jump up in there and run top 2, more so than David. Macedo. I mean, it doesn't take too many people to knock him out of that top 2. Or maybe even this guy, Giovanni Scelzi. Once again, always seems to run well on short tracks. The one thing about this track, though, is it does not have an outside wall. So if you ever jump the cushion, you literally leave the park. But I don't know if you got to be worried or concerned about that with how good the cushion's built at this racetrack. Giovanni Scelzi, 4.5 on the betting app. 4.5. That's somebody who you would say yes. I don't know. It's a toss up in the air. 4.5's tough, man. You think Kofoid's up there. You think a surprise is going to be up there. You don't even think David Gravel's going to be able to get up there. He could at least get the 3rd. What about Macedo? I mean, what about anybody local? What is Sam Haverteep? He's got 40 million laps on that track. If he shows up, he'll be good like he was at KSP and Cotton Bowl. So, I mean, if he's there, he could go in the top 4. He's good at places he drives an immense amount of laps at. So, 4.5 for Giovanni Scelzi. Over or under. Now, my gut says over, better. He just won at KSP. But then my mind reminds me of who lost all my money at Cotton Bowl last Saturday. And see, this is the problem with modern sports gambling. Kyrie Irving talked about this. I just said what I said. I have a grudge against Giovanni Scelzi right now because he cost me $345 last Saturday night. And that's the problem with modern sports gambling. Kyrie says, I don't know why. I can't get on fucking Twitter and I ain't got, it's like thousands of notifications of people mad at me because they lost their bet on me. I'm not saying I'm mad at Giovanni Celsi. I'm just like, it sucks. I remember this, but I'm just saying now, when I said that, I was like, that made me think of that quote when he said that. And it's like, wow, that I just had a glimpse of how those people might feel. Just a glimpse, a little taste. If you don't have self-awareness and you dive into that and keep on hating and liking based on your bet, the result, then you'll go start yelling at Kyrie Irving or Celsi on Twitter. You son of a bitch, you passed hot and child or whatever, and you lost me, blah, 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 money. I needed that to feed my babies and put gas in the car to go to the next race. You fuck. I think that's too close to call. I'm skipping on Giovanni Celsi at 4.5. Oh, shit. We already went better Axum. We already went worse gravel. And I'm going to have to go better, and I'm going to place it now because I already ran my mouth. Michael Buddy Kofoy, better than 3.5 or worse. Top 3, podium or no podium, bitch. Once again, my link is DIRTTRACKCHAZ if you would like to get into this. And instant deposit bonus promo code DIRTTRACKCHAZ, all one word. Up to $1,000 instant bonus deposit bonus. 3.5, we're going over. Oh, wow, these sumbitches are high as shit. But they may not be, actually. Dude, we could name the podium right here if we were cocky enough, but we're not that dumb. We were almost naming the top 5. We're close. But you need one more pick. Oh, wait, we got 3 picks right there. But this is the odds. Carson Macedo, top 2 at lot. Kind of don't want to touch it. Right now, the only people our bet right now is Emerson Axum, 7.5, 7th or better. David Gravel, 2nd or worst. Michael Kofoy, 3rd or better. I'm fine with keeping it there. All you need is 3 picks. That's times 5% of the money. $10 bet, 60 or $100 to win or something. 60 to 100. I think it's 60. $5.99. And then Sheldon Hoddenchild, 5.5. I'm thinking that could be good. One of those wing it style short track. Sheldon was doing some special stuff at KSP in that main event. He looked very special. And see, that makes me want to say better. We did it. That takes it to a times 10 on the money. It's $100 if it hits. Without the Sheldon bet, it's 60, 59, 90 to win on a $10 bet. So $40 swing. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to bet a very small amount, $5. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to remove the Sheldon on my World of Outlaw bet here. Remove the Sheldon. I'm going to keep Emerson Axum in the top 7. David Gravel, 2nd or worst. And Buddy Kofoy, 3rd or better. That's going to be my high limit bet, I think, right here. Let's see here. Yes, hold on. Or my World of Outlaws bet. Sorry about that. Trying to put a little percentile in there. What are y'all thinking? Have y'all looked at the bet or at the odds? Gravel is a 2.5. Second won't win or the worst. Right. Well, I was about to say that. Somebody just said, you know, what about Baylog? What they really don't have is Donny Schatz on this list. And they've had Donny on here almost every damn time, from my understanding. So why all of a sudden is Donny Schatz not on the gambling list? Is it because that Ford fucking sucks and they know it? It's not even fucking dependable for betting. That's how much faith Ford has on the Donny Schatz. I'm just going to keep hammering this till they change it. I'm going to keep hammering it. Even Vegas is saying to y'all over there at TSR, the Ford's not reliable enough for us to gamble on anymore. They don't trust the shit. They don't trust the shit. Now, I know that this is not going to be a Houston still where I say that God's going to, rain down on you and then it floods the facility on my birthday. Now, I know I can't sit here and yell and scream, God's going to make you switch to a Chevy and it just happens tomorrow. It's not, we're dealing with men, not gods in this scenario on answering the request. But let's hurry the fuck up and get you into some competitive shit someday soon. Like a week or 2, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or come on, let's start moving that direction. That's all I'm fucking saying. Vegas has lost faith on Donny Schatz's ass. They don't even want him on the list anymore. It ain't just some fat dude on YouTube yelling about it anymore, who used to be skinny and used to be fatter than he is now. I mean, come on. Can't Shaver build a motor, engine? Can't he build one? Fucking ship 2 in and let's get the ship moving. I got to start, winning on here with you. Although that would never happen probably. Jesus Christ. Anyways, that's our World of Outlaw bet. That's our bet right there. Axum Kofoid Gravel. Now, they do have High Limit in here. They do have High Limit on the screen. Of course, High Limit at Central Arizona Speedway. Somehow they have 30 cars on the docket. You would say, wow, Central Arizona Raceway and Lawton are pretty close. Arizona, Oklahoma. It pales in comparison, guys. Next week, which this was in the thumbnail. Next week, they're going to have High Limit in Amarillo, Texas, and High Limit at Dodge City, which if you documented our history, we couldn't wait to see 410s on that track. This is the best weekend that track, that community, that entire environment needed. A premier race for possibly the most premier facility I've ever seen in normal dirt track racing. I mean, it's right up there with Houston's and all of them. I mean, this is, there ain't too many Eldoras and Knoxvilles. Well, Dodge City meets the fucking standard, okay, in what you're saying there. That's a damn NASCAR facility. Like, it's better. I think it's better than most you could think of, period. It's better than all of them. Eldora, Knox, it's in that facility range. And they finally got them a 410 fucking sprint car race. And they're going to have it next Saturday at Dodge City Raceway Park. I plan on being there. Friday, it'll be Amarillo. But guess what? World of Outlaws are having their Jason Johnson Classic at Arrowhead Speedway. in Oklahoma. I don't know how much y'all know y'all's geography, but Kansas and Oklahoma, they're pretty fucking close. Amarillo and Oklahoma, pretty fucking close. I would almost go on the limb and say next week's event is going to be the closest high limit in the World of Outlaws will race for the entire season. When do they even come closer than that? We're talking about maybe a 5-hour drive, 6 hour, maybe 5 or 6 hour drive. And you got High Limit and World of Outlaws racing the same night. Lack of communication. From my understanding, Dodge City would welcome a World of Outlaw event. No, so the track's not making the call there. The track's just trying to get what they can get. They want to have some big-time sprint car racing there. Some people work with you. Some are in the clique, and some run the casino. Anyway, sometimes it's better to do it with the people in the cliques than the people in the suits. I'll tell you that much. I'll say that. I'll say that about this High Limit World of Outlaws split. Yeah, there's a clique in High Limit, but there's some suit shit going on in, at least the cliques are publicly and joking around like Rigsby and everybody. They're out in the public and at racetracks and interacting with everybody. They're acting normal, like normal people, not above you people, not the suits. I will say that in a good way about High Limit. But they're going to be at Central Arizona Friday and Saturday. This track's went through a lot of renovations. I've actually, believe it or not, I have hot laps on this racetrack. That is one of the funny facts. I've actually took laps at this facility at Central Arizona Speedway. I was trying to bring up the hot laps, but it screwed up the web. Regardless, this track is built up. They have a wall around it now. I believe they have billboards surrounding the wall. There's no longer a drop-off. When I was hot lapping there was a drop-off on the tops of the tracks on each end. It's a pretty big track, very circular. From my remembrance of going around it, you kind of got it's got like a kink entering one kind of halfway into the corner, so you got to drive it in and almost pitch straight it out again. And then 3 and 4, pretty basic in the oval, kind of sweeps out. The straightaway isn't necessarily straight. I'd have to go see how much they have done with that, but 30 cars going to be there. People are surprised, actually. I have phone calls about this. Wow, man. Can you believe there's 30 cars at Arizona? It's like, wow, really? The way you get some of those things is somehow Landon Crawley has made the trip. Caleb Henry or Montgomery. I keep saying Caleb Henry when I say Caleb Montgomery. But Caleb Henry, okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna get into that. Caleb Montgomery has been a hot topic here recently in the social domain. I don't really, I mean, I know why. And we're reaction-based culture, so. And this is why I say in today's world, you got to jump at every chance you get. Because we're in such a reaction-based culture in society today that when you get noticed or when somebody hears your name or you're getting a little attention, you got to fucking dive into that shit because that attention leaves so fast in today's world that, yeah, that might have been that one shot. Maybe, and even though, like I said, that's the culture. That's not what I think. I'm just saying, I think that's why I would suggest you have to do it like that. But Montgomery's run okay in the past. He's definitely found it better here this year. It's almost as much of a jump as a Tanner Holmes. Honestly, I would say him and Tanner Holmes. Caleb Montgomery we're speaking about. Him and Tanner Holmes probably made the biggest jumps from last year to this year based on the high limit swing. As far as speed, it looks like they put in the work or in the right situation, frame of mind, whatever you want to call it. And they look fast this year. Now, and everybody, though, is sitting back. I'm assuming even Broke Joes of the sorts and waiting to see what happens. What's going to happen with this Tanner Holmes momentum upward swing? Is it going to sustain, or when is the bottom going to fall out? I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for with or thinking that could happen with Tanner Holmes, the naysayers as they may call him. And I think it would be a little more expected with the Caleb Montgomery situation to kind of, but I would almost say that Caleb Montgomery has a better shot. We ain't got to see him enough to see it. The consistency is there. He hasn't got too many shots. Some people are looking at the Tanner Holmes thing and being like, well, he got a shot in shark racing and all this other stuff. And where did he go with it? You know, we can't say that about Caleb Montgomery. We ain't seen him with a shot. So this could be his opportunity, and it could sustain. So these are two guys that are very similar in that aspect in jumping speed. But obviously people probably knew Tanner Holmes was going to be here already with Tarleton. They got their schedules out and all that. But Montgomery just got enough support to get to Arizona. So that's a new addition. Alex Pettis, that's a local in Arizona. We'll swear it down the left here. Nick Parker, I believe that's a Midwestern guy, or Missouri. And he's going to be running with High Limit, I believe. Somebody was saying that. Not sure. But I believe that's a white and a red 15 machine. Pretty sure about that. Ryan Walter, no idea. Like I said, Landon Crawley made the tow. Colby Thornhill's getting far out. Hayden Reinbold, AZ local. Robbie Price getting far out. They're staying down there. They may be buying their hotels or something. Dalen Pereira, like that. That's a funny point. What about hotels? Like say like what I just said there. Kobe Thornhill and I don't know, Robbie Price come up to Brad Sweet, or maybe even Caleb. You know, maybe some of these guys. Oh man, I would go, but I just don't want to burn the fuel and hotels, and we don't have nothing booked. Is that where potentially like High Limit could have like Flo walk into the building and be like, "What hotel you want?" You know, with the accent and everything, and you need fuel card, you know, some stuff like that. And Flo just covers whatever these guys need. And maybe they should start asking for stuff like that to work the system. Just saying. Anyway, I'm just going to continue on. Rico Abreu, Danny Sams, like I said, Dylan Pereira. Joe Perry, haven't heard that name much. Sterling Kling, non-wing racer from that area, I believe. Ryan Bernal, everything racer. JT Imperial, I'm pretty sure is an AZ racer. And then Austin McCarl, which is he a high roller officially? Because he should be at this point. He's kind of been like for High Limit what I feel like Emerson Axum has been for the World of Outlaws. Like he's on the tour at every race. Like he's a guy and he's nowhere near home. So why aren't you on the tour? Like, to me, it makes no sense. I mean, I get it. Austin's going to go Knoxville it, and Emerson has other ideas, but I don't get it where we're in a sprint car world, and this would be the only argument. I don't know why when you're young, you just don't go up in there and try to learn. You know, in the NASCAR industries, they get your ass up in there to trucks and all that, and they get you in the cup, and they give you about, 3 to 5 years to, usually 3 to 5 years to develop into a cup contender. As a rookie, you're not expected to win the championship. You're not expected really to compete for it. Kofoid had that situation. Maybe you show a top 10 runs and accomplishment or something over there. Or it seems like in our world, to go to the Outlaws, you got to be like winning. You can't just take a few years to develop. And if you suck right out of the gate, like some people were saying, Landon Crawley did that, Tanner Holmes did that. If you didn't show national consistency, bam, you're not nationally ready. Why? Why are we detouring teams from just going out here on the road? And if they got the funding to do it, we need as much cars that we can on these national tours, especially now with there being two. So I don't know why we would discourage that. Maybe, Austin McCarl, it would help Knoxville's local program if he's there, and that's another reason. I don't know, but I don't know why we would discourage anyone with the amount, with the money and the age. Obviously, there's age limits. I don't know why we would discourage anybody with the money and the age to not go on the national tour that doesn't have decent experience. I mean, you ain't been running decent. I'm not saying throw a damn mini stock driver out there who has the money, hit the lottery, and he's going to go outlaw racing. I'm just simply saying, if there's somebody who runs well and is looking fast, like Emerson or an Austin McCarl, or let's say an Emerson, somebody coming up young, I would never suggest that they wait a year. If you got all the resources, just go. Stop looking at it as this big jump. I mean, all it's really doing is doing exactly what the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series does to the NASCAR drivers. It gets them in a routine. It gets them in. There's no other place you can go except the World of Outlaws and High Limit right now, where your ass is on the fucking road and you're flying in and out at home to do this or whatever, playing mini Formula One guy, because that's what you saw on TV, instead of staying on the road with your race team like the late model people do. They respect their race teams. They're not playing mini Formula One. They're not Max Verstappen, the Dirt Ranger, or anything. They're like the late model guys. They're humble. They travel with the team. They eat and bleed with the team. They work as a warrior, like as a force. That fucking racetrack on the weekends has to deal with that force we got. That's the passion of the late model industry with their drivers and crew and everybody is just a whole nother thing. That's the one that there's so many admirable things about the late model industry. Maybe that's why they're ahead of us. I don't get it, but that is what NASCAR Trucks and Xfinity teaches their drivers before they even get to Cup, but we don't have these levels that actually do that. They get you in a routine of going to races and flying in and out. And right now, whether you're traveling on the road or flying in and out, High Limit and the World of Outlaws is the only place to really train on how to handle that lifestyle capability. Can you handle that as a life? To not go out on the road will make you get comfortable just being in PA. You get a slice of that humble pie themselves, and they're like, oh well, fuck that road life. This is good. Hey, I've been there. Trust me. It was way better than humble though. I'm just saying. So I wouldn't reject a team to the national levels of our dirt track racing right now, because I don't think there's another place where you can mentally prepare people for that lifestyle if that's what you want, or give it a taste at least. Some people with NASCAR industry, they probably go to trucks and say, fuck this lifestyle. I'd rather just go be rich, because they already are. That's funny. Regardless, I mean, I don't think ASCS could teach you that. I don't think there ain't a series in the country that operates in the ways that our national series operate. They just don't. So I don't know why we're thinking about Austin McCarl and them not needing, or Emerson Axum in particular. I'm still going to hammer that fence. Where is Zeb Wise? Zeb Wise, if Chase Randall wasn't pretty enough, should have been in the damn 83 Roth car and given them a damn amazing franchise that's so damn valuable that people just throw them away. What the fuck? This thing's supposed to change sprint car racing for the rest of our entirety, and people are throwing them away. That's what I'm being told. I mean, think about that. I see your stuff going. I see y'all trying to call. You're not ruining my talk. This is the Chaz. This ain't the people talking over the Chaz. You came to watch the Chaz. You didn't come here to overtake. Who the hell do you think you are? The Republican Party? Can't be running for no third terms, violating the Constitution. Oh, you're just here to take over, aren't you, huh? Take over. You get in there. You get in there and you take over. Try to change the whole fucking system, huh? So much respect for this country you so-called love. What a trick. The modern Joker, guys. The modern Joker. You know the movie Batman? The modern Joker's Trump, buddy. He's got you so good. He said that eggs are way down the other day. He said that eggs are way down. He's lying to your face and you know it. You go to the store. You look at this man you loved and he tells you eggs are way down. And you go to the store and it ain't what he said. Is that like catching your wife cheating on you? When shit like that happens, guys, I'm just asking. When this Trump guy does such a level of deceit to your face, is that like catching the wife cheating on you? When he does this to you? I'm glad. I mean, I just stood in the middle and chanted, you know, y'all should be nice. Okay. Y'all don't even want to comment. Y'all don't even want to comment. You love the left-right politics talk. I'm just saying, I know a lot of passionate Trump people who was told that eggs are down and they go to the damn store and they ain't. So I'm just telling the truth. Anyway, y'all want to hear it. It's okay. I did want to talk about this involvement. I know we got some NASCAR fans, especially the Larsonites. By the way, you can get your Larsonite shirt on longlivethechaz.com. You would enjoy it. But NASCAR with their throwback weekend, I guess they're at Darlington. When I see the throwback schemes, I know where they're at. This is one of my favorite. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is one of my favorite NASCAR tracks. There's only a few NASCAR tracks that are really drivers' racetracks. I think Darlington is one. I think Dover is another one of those racetracks. Old Atlanta was a driver racetrack. Some would say Homestead, but I don't think so. I think the wall's a crutch. You could say that about Darlington, but I'm more so talking about the surface than running up on the cushion. Probably the biggest driver track, though, to me would be Dover. I think you could still race or drive the car at Dover and make up time. Phoenix used to be one, and then they destroyed it and cut it into a million pieces. It was disgusting. But anyways, we'll get off of NASCAR tracks. They're doing these throwbacks. Chris Bell with the Rick Ferkel throwback. The original favorite to win the original World of Outlaw championship. And Steve Kinser shocked the world by beating him, actually. And then this one, guys. This one right here. This could be potentially the best looking race car throwback we've ever seen. And we all know who's driving it. This motherfucker and his Texas Terry arrogance. This is almost as worse as Carson Elledge in the black one number TMC car with Sammy Swindell. This is almost worse. Where in the hell does Kyle Larson get off on wearing Texas Terry's colors? I'm just kidding, by the way. I was just seeing somebody in the chat's getting mad. Are y'all getting upset? Let's see. I was trying to troll y'all live. Oh, God, people are calling. You Will is calling from California. Kyle Larson isn't Joey Logano. Okay, so fine. It wasn't funny to you. I thought it was funny. But I think it's an awesome scheme. This was interesting yesterday. This is when the NASCAR world played its game on the World of Outlaws. Played the game smooth, guys. Look at this. You know how I know they played the game? This is World of Outlaws posts yesterday at 5. How about a little midweek micro racing on Dirt Vision? Kyle Busch and Brexton Busch face off tonight for the first time at Millbridge. See how the two-time NASCAR champ fares against his son on dirt. It also provides a link on how to watch it on Dirt Vision. So this is funny. This is funny because this is a cross promotion, or at least an attempt by tagging NASCAR. But we saw extreme cross promotion between NASCAR and High Limit at Las Vegas. Not only Kyle Busch himself in the booth announcing the race, but NASCAR's Facebook page literally sponsored ads featuring a high limit racing ad at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway dirt track, and links and tags to watch on Flow Racing. This was a sponsored ad. I have the screenshot from NASCAR. So that's a straight tentacle on who's in this or out of this. Once again, my theory's always been that sprint car racing could get bigger than NASCAR, and that's why they've always kept us down, because they see us as a threat. They need to control us or manipulate society. Now that dirt racing's got too big, they need to have controlled opposition. Regardless, that's the big game. I know you are just seeing the face value. That's why we're talking about it. We can't get too deep with y'all. You are sleeping. You took too many sleeping pills in your life. You're blue pilled to death. But regardless, they were sharing it, flow links, everything like that. NASCAR did. Now, this thing happened yesterday. Now, funny enough, when you go to NASCAR's Facebook page and you scroll down to yesterday's time, I tried to get this up earlier. And then once again, you could see a post there. But they did a little video on how they were going to be facing off. I think I passed it, sorry. On how they would be facing off. It was like a little short reel. I don't know where they put it. But it was a reel of, let me see, it's in here somewhere. Where'd they put it? Well, maybe I thought I got them. Maybe they got me. Maybe it's in their post somewhere. Maybe they deleted it. They knew I'd be talking about it. Oh, my. Back to the conspiracy nuts. But I'm sure if I scrolled, I'd find it again. But no, there was a video that they had made, that they had shared, posted, something like that, and they was basically describing how the Brexton Busch and Kyle Busch situation would happen, but they didn't tag anybody. They didn't tag Dirt Vision. They tagged the track, but they didn't tag on or how to watch it. And the comment section was basically full of people asking on where they could find the race. There it was. This was the one. It was NASCAR on Fox, funny enough, even closer. So NASCAR on Fox is the one that showed it, which is broadcast companies. It's Busch versus Busch at Millbridge in Salisbury, North Carolina, hashtag NASCAR. So this was a NASCAR on Fox. My apologies. But the broadcast networks and the companies are very close. Regardless, no mention of where to watch it or how to watch it. Go in the comments. I know I saw a few comments that said I tried to post how to watch it, but it got deleted. It wasn't a fake either. I couldn't find anywhere in the comment section that I think maybe twice, 3 or 4 times I saw somebody say Dirt Vision, but you couldn't put the .com. So it may have had the links blocked. So maybe an honest mistake. But I'm starting to see more tentacles between this Flow Racing NASCAR tie-in. And I don't know if it's something to worry about. It should be something for the World of Outlaws to worry about, I would say, in this high-limit sprint car war, I guess, that we're having, or some people are okay with it. They're saying everybody can just kumbaya forever. Buddy, there ain't nobody in the business thinking kumbaya forever. These two sides want to kill one another, it seems like. When you walk the pits and mention one side or the other when the camera's not on, there's some, I'm just saying. But that was mainly Donny, and he's just mad because he's stuck in a Ford. Regardless, this whole scenario is bad for any negative entity against the powerhouse of Flow, NASCAR, who Flow does have a partnership with NASCAR, and then High Limit, which obviously they're tentacled in ownership, with a tentacle of Flow Racing, and then also, the driver that is the most successfully built driver in their marketing platform in the last 10 years, Kyle Larson, is tentacled to High Limit as well. So it's hard. But what isn't hard is to like these throwbacks and to see how Joe Gibbs is the biggest grifter in the world. This team went from hating dirt racing, guys, hating it, to embracing 410 races, Ty Gibbs racing, Chris Bell's back, and throwback paint schemes to World of Outlaw Sprint Car. No, the Sprint Car Legend. On 2 cars, not just one, guys. This is a dual throwback to a sprint car driver. This is the same team that Tony Stewart had to leave to go race dirt tracks. He had to make up a name. What was it, Smoke Johnson at the Chili Bowl? Tony Stewart had to do that to be able to race the Chili Bowl as a Joe Gibbs driver, I believe, right? And now they're doing this. But it goes back to me talking to that executive who said that the dirt track racing numbers on social media blow the NASCAR drivers and people away. More than the entire Xfinity and truck roster combined, he said. The dirt racers get more than all of them. And he said more than 3/4 of the Cup field. So he said there's only like 3 or 4 guys in NASCAR that get close to the dirt track figures as far as social media interaction between fans. I think NASCAR knows that now. They saw that dirt racing started to organically grow. They got a tentacle in there with High Limit and everything, and they're also trying to tentacle as quick as possible by being nice, getting Bell and other drivers involved into the sport. And now Joe Gibbs completely flipping to throwback paint schemes. They're trying to grift the dirt track audience. This is what they did originally with Cole. Sprint car racing was just big back then. They were kind of ignorant to what was happening. Nobody's talking about the marketing aspects to what they're doing and how they're doing it. But, I guess if somebody would have recognized, hey, 4 years ago, there was a movie about a guy from California in a sprint car who came up here and started winning. That guy sounds very familiar to this Jeff Gordon guy. Why? Well, this is weird. Is this planned? DuPont's involved. The DuPont family? Really? Wow. Tom Cruise Scientology? What's that? Wow. Oh, it gets so deep. It's so deep. Oh, God, I got to stop talking about it. Assalamu alaikum. Right. All right, what's the chat doing? Did we already lose everyone? I hope we did. I hope we did at that point. Yeah. Okay, we're taking calls now. Lines are open. Next caller, I'm going to see it. Let's see the calls. You'll bitch this entire time. Let's see a call. I'm waiting for the first call. I see that I've missed like 40 of them. I don't care. Got some 612s we missed, a 706. It's like a 530, and we got us a 925, boy. We got us a 9, a 2, and a 5. Oh, my. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, it's you again.
Who's you again?
It's the guy from California.
Yes, sir.
I thought we were going to have a new caller. You're less than 10 seconds. Go.
Goodbye.
I'm just kidding. God, sensitive-ass white people.
How do you know I'm white?
It's not hard to tell. We're in racing.
So what do you want to talk about tonight?
I already talked all about it for a good old hour.
I know. Get rid of the NASCAR talk. That sucks, man.
Which part?
Anything and everything that has to do with Larson.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah,
What's up?
I don't think you're going to see Justin Sanders in Arizona. He's embarrassed.
Well, I don't know if he's embarrassed or not, but yeah, his name wasn't on the list.
His name was not on the list?
No, it wasn't listed. No.
Was Dominic Selzy on the list?
No.
What about DJ Neto?
No. Let me double check. We'll put the list on the screen. No. There
What
ain't
about
really
Gulliver?
There's really not too many California. I mean, you got Tanner Holmes, California.
No, he's from Oregon.
West Coast. Well, I don't think you got any real California guys who came over. None of them. Caleb Montgomery's
Not
the only
even
one.
the number 3, the 3 car?
It looks like Caleb Montgomery. Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean, Sanders isn't alone, I guess. They stay on the porch in California worse than the PA fuckers.
Well, it could have something to do with the last race. They may not have enough fuel to get to the green flag because they used it all up trying to get a race started.
Right.
But, yeah, maybe they were tired of that fiasco. But like you said, most of the drivers are all amateurs.
Yep. They are.
You know, and the more amateurs you got, the worse the racing is. And I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, I didn't know, I saw the show, your sister was on there. Was that really your sister?
Why, yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, she seems pretty smart.
About what?
Well, some of the things she was talking about,
Like?
it escapes me. It was earlier, so I kind of messed up on that one. Sorry, sir.
Are you getting a delivery?
No, I'm door dashing.
Oh, you're door dashing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for. Oh, it looks like Spike wants to call in. Have you ever heard Spike talk before?
Yeah, he's about as good as the 305 guy.
The 305 guy. Who's that?
The guy in the background who was talking about the 305 to the 360 to the 410.
Right.
You don't remember the guy?
Yeah.
The guy that made you sit, drinking, swapping spit, drinking beers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Okay.
But, yeah, they just canceled the Stockton race this for Saturday night, this coming Saturday.
Right.
For NARC. You already heard about that?
Yep.
Oh.
That's crazy
Right,
that
well,
you call into a show about racing and you think you're going to tell the guy who does a show about racing about what's happened. That's crazier.
Well, I am from California.
Right. I mean, I see what happens if NARC rains out. I see it.
Okay. All right. Well, what size tire, right rear tire do you think Macri's going to use to race at in Pennsylvania this week? Since this is a racing show.
What does that have to do with anything? Do you know?
No, I just thought you'd know because you kind of taught me.
You want me to answer a question that no one probably knows except for the people in his team.
I was just trying to use your years of experience of knowledge.
Okay.
But the thing that's
I think we're going to have
California,
Spike call in on that note. Thanks for calling. Time to get real with these hoes. Some bitches. Yeah, this got weird. I don't know what happened. All right. This is the problem here. The problem child wants to be attacked today. Hello.
Good evening.
Oh, no, it is Spike.
Hey, that guy
We
thought
just had to
that
hurt his
I'm-
feelings, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
that guy was like, he was kind of the autistic nerd of racing. He really wanted to know the inside stuff.
I don't think he said that because of that. I think he said that because I got smart ass with him on the whole Tanner or the Narc rain out. I did think it was crazy though. If you call into a show that talks about racing, why would you ask them or tell them that a national series, or I think a national series, rained out this weekend? Like they don't know.
You California guys are weird, you know.
I mean, maybe
They know things.
like Broke Joe.
Well, Broke Joe, I feel he's kind of a transplant, even though he's from there.
Like a transplant, like in the soul world or the spirit world.
Yeah, he's I think he transcends even geographic regions. He's kind of like like an enigma.
Okay, an enigma.
Yeah, a phenom.
A phenom. So, which girl's house are you leaving right now in particular?
Why do you ask these questions?
Because they're funny. You even laugh. Shut the fuck up.
Not your sisters.
Oh, good. I hope not. That'd be your loss. I don't see no attraction. I tell her all the time. What do they see?
I lasted 30 seconds watching that show, and I was like, "This is trippy."
Right?
It's like Chaz and Femme Chaz.
Yeah,
out.
right. That's what I'm saying. She used to be all skinny too. I tell her all the time she's too big.
Chaz that.
She used to be like paper thin cheerleader and shit. But anyway, continue.
Hey, I noticed that the tariffs have hit racing.
I heard that the tariffs don't really go into effect until April 2nd.
Well, since High Limit is a Chinese-owned company, the ticket prices were $70-something.
Did you just say that out loud?
So if you do the 25% tariff, or I should say 50% even, normal ticket is $50. You add that $25, which is 50% tariff, and that's why Kyle and Bradley are charging $75 to come see Brad and Kyle beat up on the amateurs.
But that's not what ticket prices are this weekend. So how does that make sense?
Well, because China owns California, so they had to.
So it's California's fault, not High Limit or Inflow.
Well, China owns the borders of California, the seaboard. So
really, is that where they transferred the fentanyl?
No, that's for all the import export.
Oh, okay.
So
legally.
But I will make a public proclamation to your fan group.
What's the public proclamation to the fan group?
I am the sacrificial lamb that is doing a race fan test subject study this year. And I am the test.
Okay.
And I have not subscribed or renewed my Flow and Dirt Vision. And I am only going to view racing through YouTube highlights that they upload after the fact. And I want to see if I get any more or less out of the season than anyone else will.
Well, you're going to be a big fan of China then, because you saw how Flow did the free flow. They're coming with free flow. You know, they did that the other night.
Right. Well, that's the other part. Flow, crashes half the time. So, I mean, it'll be a year of testing, because I'll tell the fans, I'll say, hey, I ended up watching over 50% of the races for free. I got to see all the highlights for free. Why are you even paying this $500 a year for this crap?
Right.
It's a fact. So
the thing is, they do it because they're double bagging.
What do you mean?
You notice how YouTube, any video, you're monetized past 3 minutes. You get ads past 8.
Okay.
So when they hit a 70,000 view video every 2 nights a week or so, that's a lot of fucking money.
Well, and
That
to
I would
piggyback
say a
that,
70K video is worth at least probably 193, 400 maybe. It's not a lot, but it's something. And then they put it on their Facebooks and everything else too. So they're probably raking in a good 1,000 or 2 every weekend that they post these highlight videos.
well, and to piggyback this thought process here, right?
So think
What you were
about
mentioning
that.
before.
That's 50. Well, they don't run 50 weekends, but say they run, what is it, 45 weekends or something like that. I mean, 45 weekends times 2,000, that's extra $80,000-$90,000.
Oh, I get it. And so this is my question. So let's think freely and openly, race fans here. Let's think about this. Why is NASCAR promoting the Kyle versus Brendan Brooks or Bush, dirt race?
It's all about controlled opposition because all the NASCAR kids want to grow up and race dirt. So since the kids are wanting to race dirt,
right.
They're trying to get it to where it's sustainable, and they want a tentacle. So that the flow is High Limit. I'll say it right here. High Limit is NASCAR's little fucking puppy dog. That's what it is. It's a new puppy. We're gonna train it. We're gonna feed it. We're gonna water it. But it's our fucking bitch.
I'm going even one step further. NASCAR doesn't necessarily have a farm league, right?
I mean, that's what their trucks are supposed to be, but they've outpriced, so they got to get somewhere in a cheaper realm. So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they don't have like the K&N West and East and Pro Series and all that stuff anymore. Right?
Well, you can run ARCA, but it's 1.25 million for a year.
Right. Well, right. So what I'm saying is there is no rookie ball single A farm league, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're going to control it into this level, a stepping stone. It's the same thing to me, in my opinion. High Limit as a successful bitch is the biggest stepping stone you could ever have. That's what it is.
Well, but my theory is you put out a post, Kyle versus his kid, Kyle Busch versus his kid on dirt. You make it where you start to see, okay, is there any response to this? Does anyone give a damn? Right?
Right.
Now you're starting to, then you bring up stuff like, hey, Kyle Larson, he won at, Chili Bowl, or Chris Bell did. These guys are winning on dirt. Does anyone give a shit?
Yeah, that's making me good. I'm going to go look at that post statistics from that Kyle Busch post compared to their other ones. That'd be interesting to see.
My whole thing is, why not now eventually NASCAR come along and say, we're going to buy, either start our own or buy a dirt series, make that the official brand that is NASCAR, the road to NASCAR. Now all the rich boys with daddy's money are going to go enter their sprint car into that series, or maybe it'll be a midget series, whatever.
Right.
And this is going to be, like you said, if they're getting $90,000 a year just off of YouTube views from highlights from Outlaws or High Limits, you put the NASCAR brand on it, and they get a deal on, FS1 or C-Dub or whatever.
Yeah, because Fox is obviously tentacled to Flow because that's where that Dirt documentary went out.
Right.
So it makes more sense that NASCAR Fox didn't, support where the race would be. But back to the analysis of my point I was making is they're trying to suckle off the natural growth of dirt racing because of the social media era. It made it bigger than it ever had been.
Well, you piggyback it because
it's more popular than you. Hold on, look. Just this stupid little clip of Bush and them. So they posted this today, the Denny Hamlin-Logano fight, which is all they got for a fucking show. They don't have a race. They got a show. That's why they're drama-filled. The racing fucking sucks. That one's got 347 likes. Kenseth and Logano, this was monumental in racing during the championship year when Kenseth took out Logano and ruined his championship hopes. That's got 2.4K. That's pretty good. Jeff Gordon's last lap win at Martinsville, that's got 1.1K. Kyle Larson on his IndyCar steering wheel, 1.1K. Brexton Busch, Kyle Busch, 8.1K. So 4 times their highest viewed other content.
Yeah.
4 times.
So this is my point. They're seeing if there's any profitability. Let High Limit and Flow, Dirt Vision, whatever, let them spend the money so that we can monitor it and see if it's a profitable venture. And then why the hell are we letting some other group come in and run when we're running a NASCAR weekend? Fuck that. We're going to run our own farm league on the nights or the afternoon or the evening when we don't have something, and tell the fans, hey, get on over to the dirt track, bring your ticket stub. You can get in for half price. We're going to have Ty Gibbs. He's going to be battling. Kyle Busch is going to be there, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And now they're not even triple, but quadruple dipping off of the Trucks, Xfinity, Cup, and now the Dirt Series.
All right, and it's a and this is and then that'll really more so visually show you how they siphon the fan bases and shit from our sport continually as well.
Right.
You know, because then instead of it being cold trickle in some masked way, it'll literally be a direct connection of here's why we're all you fans from High Limit are coming to watch them now at the big track. Now
exactly, and a lot of people and a lot of your fans
turning it into college,
it.
like we said. There's not a pro player that goes into pro that isn't already halfway famous, and people are looking to see what he can do in the pros. So
that's
they're literally going to instill it. You know,
the draft is so big in NFL.
Right, they're doing it,
and they'll have a NASCAR draft. It'll be the coolest thing ever. It'll be which dirt star is going to get called up.
Right.
Or
and
which
then if you call out,
driver's going to get called up to the Cup, you know?
And when the truck driver comes back, even though he gets exposed, like Corey Day, he's going to dominate the field because you ain't got David Gravels and a full field of badasses to do anything about it.
But that's the beauty of it is now your stars are on the way up, and when they get old, like Kyle Busch,
they go
he
back
can go
down.
on his way down and still be profitable. At 50 years old, he can still be running a truck, or running on dirt.
This is exactly what NASCAR wanted for a long time. In my opinion, they already had this. They already did it. It's cold trickle, but visual. It's actual visual, like here's facts. You know, instead of
it's cold trickle from youth to stardom to retirement. It's going to be the whole
full
story.
movie. Full fucking movie, man.
And you make money on every single ticket sold that weekend for his whole career. And guess what? The fans of dirt racing may say, that's bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck about the rise of a star from dirt. And, well, UFC has shows where it was the rise of their stars.
Right. It's a proven, it works. It's proven.
Every sport does it.
Why is Brexton Busch bigger than everyone in dirt right now? Like, if you was to count up Brexton Busch's, like, social numbers versus David Gravel or Rico, I bet he destroys them, you know, because they spent so much money in filming, and the Bushes did that personally. NASCAR didn't do that.
And what did I say 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, when they announced High Limit Racing? I said it's going to be, come see the stars of NASCAR compete on dirt against the stars of tomorrow.
Right. The young
and
gun
my
versus...
Theory was, it was just going to be, you know, Kyle and the different NASCAR guys like Bowman and whoever else, you know, that and against, you know, like some of the USAC kids in a wing car. But I which they kind of are doing that in a way. You know, they're using regional guys. But it's smart. Here's my theory. don't even get them out there. Eventually, have NASCAR create a sprint car that handles easier, has speed, but the NASCAR fans won't know. Like a sprint car fan will know the difference. They'll be like, "Fuck, what is it?"
What I you're basically talking about what I've been advocating for, a next gen sprint car.
Right. You know, whether that's a 305
a little
or
bigger of a car, do the old custom car. It costs, say, race ready, it'll be $300,000. So you get all the little money out and only the big money controls everything. So it's a $300,000 car, but it's super safe. You can't die in it anymore. It's just as fast as a 410. It races better. The arrow's not as bad. All the shit, you know.
It'd almost be like the pavement wing sprint cars, you know, but almost, on dirt.
But new. I mean,
yeah.
But it would be
now a purist sprint car fan is going to hate it. He's going to be like, "This sucks." Like,
well, just like I said, they may hate the High Limit series, Spike. I mean, yeah, sure, you traditionalist outlaw people, you don't like High Limit, but compared to how many new people there are out there that's never heard of the sport, you don't fucking matter. What's an outlaw? What's a sprint car?
Right. And I even think that you bring in a midget series because think about it. There's a lot of hours in the day
Micros.
at a NASCAR weekend. Run the midgets at noon on one of the days, you know, or whatever.
It'll be micros.
Whatever, micros. Yeah, you name it. Well, that's true because then you got their kids, the race car drivers' kids in the micros.
So you see them coming up, like you said, from baby until death. From being born till they're dead.
And what are the NASCAR fans in the crowd, in the stands at the NASCAR race going to be talking about amongst each other? Man, last night I was over at the dirt track. I just saw so-and-so's kid. He's going to be a star someday.
Right, yep.
I just saw so-and-so on dirt. He raced his kid. It was a great battle. You got to go check those out.
Yeah,
NASCAR's going to be a 5-6 race weekend of micros, sprint cars, trucks, Xfinity Cup, autograph signings.
And it'll start out as so much more money to win than any other local track that they'll take all the cars. Therefore, they'll take all the crowd that the local could, go to another track because all the drivers are there. It'll start out the same way. Throw the big money at them, just like they've done with High Limit.
Well, and like you were saying before, you're saying, hey, why doesn't Flo and High Limit call some of these California guys, these regional guys, and say, hey, we'll cover your expenses, your hotel, your gas. We need field fillers.
Right.
Well, guess what? If NASCAR has a dirt series, they will be paying a Tanner Holmes and a Caleb Montgomery to go on the road with them, even if it is just as a field filler.
Well, I mean, see what Flo is becoming in a way. It's just what we're describing here with High Limit. Maybe NASCAR wanted to start a sprint car series, but why do we got to do any of the fucking work? We just give some breadcrumbs to this Brad guy and encourage Kyle, and they'll go do all the fucking work, and we'll still basically control the fucking thing. NASCAR's always wanted, they think they're behind in the streaming game and streaming service industry. Why go out there and just build one? Why not just throw Flo Racing a bone, give them some races to broadcast, make them feel special, and we basically will own their ass too. So they technically have a NASCAR sprint car series and a NASCAR streaming service. They just didn't have to do any of the work to build either one.
Well, exactly right. Because think about it. Why wouldn't I just sit back and be involved and let them blow all their money if I'm NASCAR? Just sit back and see them fail or do things right or do things wrong, and we're taking notes the whole time.
Right.
And then after 5-10 years, we go, we've got enough market research and enough exploration on this topic, and we're going to do it now with more money than Flo has, and we're going to do it so that it benefits our series from youth all the way to retirement. And that's what it's going to be is come over to the dirt track, you know, whatever. Ryan Newman's going to be racing.
Right.
You know, all these legends
Kyle
will come
Larson
back out.
and Chris Bell and
yeah, all these legends are going to be a part of it. My God, I haven't seen him race in 10 years. Well, he's going to be on the dirt tonight.
Bill
Get over
Elliott.
and check it out. Yeah.
Bobby Labonte.
Put in a legend series, like those legend cars.
Yeah, Tony
you know?
Stewart, or he'll run it.
Yeah, have the little legend cars out there. Rock on.
I got to piss. Do you want to let me go or no? Do you want to read comments?
Well, I'm just saying, like.
Hold on. I got to really piss.
All I'm going to say
read the comments,
is,
Spike. I'm putting my headphones
I can't.
off.
Okay, you talk, but I'll hang up while you're peeing. But all I'm going to say is, think big picture, people. Nobody's in this to just watch and see and go, oh, how exciting. Sprint car racing, NASCAR sitting there going, how fun. No. They're watching and they're learning and they're seeing if there's value to anything. And that's why they're putting out these posts. Come see Kyle and Braxton Bush and all that. They don't do that because they like it. Isn't Kyle Busch a part-time racer right now? Why are they promoting him? So the fact is that it's a test market research that they're going to do to create this well-rounded from youth to retirement and all points in between series. It's going to create awesome content streaming. They're going to have the life and times of this racer. They'll have all this footage, all this content that they've created. It's going to be the next level. I'm just telling you guys, this is the bigger picture.
You're sure?
And if I were them,
how much percentage? How much of a percentage? Like, do you think? Like, are you saying 100%, or are you saying like 65?
What
percent that you think this is what's going on? Are you 100% sold? This is it.
I'm
kind of talking shit.
NASCAR,
I halfway believe it. I think so. I mean, yeah, that's how I would see it if I was to shoot a shot. I would see it very similarly. But I mean, if it was like odds of it happening, I mean.
Well, my whole theory is, why would you put out posts that are for a part-time driver and his kid on a rival or non-associated dirt racing platform?
Right.
There's only so much money to go around. Why would we want them to suddenly get hooked on dirt and not come to NASCAR anymore?
Right.
Why are we showing them alternatives? You're a $1 billion company, NASCAR, with $1 million sponsorships. They don't just fuck around and play like that. You know, they don't just have PR people that just post stupid shit. It's all done for analytical.
It's calculated.
Reason. Yes.
It ain't just some random shit.
You know, this ain't just, dipshit PR bitch that don't know nothing posting something, because she's, helping out the local dirt track. No, this is like real shit.
This is like college graduates and shit. Obama's
this is
fucking
everything they
political.
post, it's got an analytical digest with it to know who, what, when, where.
It's fucking liberal is what it is, ain't it?
So what I'm saying is, you're asking me, is this 100% sure? I would say it's 100% sure that they're doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
And
I think it's controlled opposition at the minimum.
And if I were them, I would just watch Flo blow all their money, because they don't draw any fans. Like, the High Limits doesn't draw fucking flies. So, like, if I were them, I don't think they're worried
about the in-person fan.
What I think is if I were them, I would buy out World Racing Group for the sheer fact of the library, so that you can create best ofs, and then you have all these series now wrapped up into one.
But Spike, come on, you can't be that fucking stupid.
Library. If you're going to create the life and
on.
times of a driver, you got to have a library.
Out of everybody talking, I thought you would be the one that would be smarter than that. Come on.
I would buy a library just to have it. And then,
Spike, here's the deal, though. What you're talking about is going to happen. But look, I thought you were a part of the wrestling industry at one point. I believe that's where this cocaine shot was taken from jail. You know what is going to be the best marketing plan for NASCAR, High Limit, and Flow. You already know what their number one marketing tool is right now, and that's called the same fucking marketing that made Hillary and Trump big, the same algorithm that something in the mind made everybody want to see Triple H fight The Rock. It's controversy. They want the World of Outlaws to survive right now because this controversy between the two is providing publicity you can't even imagine right now in the dirt racing industry.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is if I had the
all I'm saying, give it 3 or 4 years, by 28, then you do that, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm saying in the future, you let Flo blow all their money on Kyle and Bradley's pipe dream, and then you come in and buy library. That's what you want. And then you can say the World of Outlaws since 1978, the home of the future NASCAR stars, you know?
But I don't know if NASCAR would. Okay, so you are saying you're not even saying let High Limit win. You're saying let both of them fight each other to their last breathing breath, and then when both of them die, come in there and buy up the World of Outlaws because it has the brand, and NASCAR's built their brand, so they're in that style of thinking. They think a brand matters. You're saying after both of them die, come in there and be the solution, and NASCAR's going to save the day by buying the World of Outlaws and encompassing High Limit. And
well, why do you think they bought ARCA? I mean, ARCA.
Yeah, but they didn't change the name. That's what I mean. Like,
but that's what I'm saying is you buy it out because it has name value.
Just like IMSA, the road course series.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Flo is going to lose their ass on this High Limit venture. I don't give a fuck when anyone says they don't market, they don't know how to draw fans.
What do you mean they don't market? They got fucking television series, and that dirt stuff is good. That Dirt 2 thing is fucking premium documentary work. They market the fuck out of that shit. Especially compared to lazy-ass Dirt Vision. What the fuck do they do besides sit in front of a $25 green screen?
Paywall, though.
It don't matter. I mean, you could say paywall, but fuck, dude. I mean, okay, fine. Listen, they're not making money, but as far as lacking marketing, they might be spending too much money in marketing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, what I'm saying is they're blowing their wad on a sport that no one knows about.
But they're trying to be the first one.
A $300 paywall.
But they're trying to be the first one to serve the hamburger, so they get the award.
Yeah,
I think that they could easily take over the World of Outlaws. I mean, yeah, there's not people at the tracks. That's a big problem. But most people who go to the tracks are the traditionalists. The newer people will just buy a streaming service platform. The newer people.
No, not for $300.
But that's why Flow wins, because they're $150.
That's still too much.
I mean, listen, I think they offered the new monthly deal of $15, ain't it? But
you're missing the point. If someone says to me, there's this awesome sport, dirt track racing. Okay, cool. I would like to see it. Okay, how do I tune in? Can I watch it on TV? No. Okay, can I watch some races on YouTube? Well, you can get like clipped highlights.
Oh,
God. Can I watch a race? Yes. You have to pay $150 to see if you like it. Like, what? I don't give a shit.
And then you finally say you do it. Say, Kyle's convinced me. I'm getting it. Kyle Busch and everybody's telling me about it. I got to see this. Say they figured it out, right? They cracked the code. And then they go and pay for it. And then they turned up. It starts at 6:15, and they push on, and it's a little trumpet playing or whatever for 10 minutes. And then it finally comes to the track here. Chase Robin, welcome to the blah, 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 Suck a Dick Speedway. And we're getting in hot laps very shortly. And then the camera just sits there. And then there's
Right.
following a tractor around the track. And it's
Yeah,
like,
well, and that's what I all said the last year.
I just paid $150 for this cow. What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I said that all last year, and you were ready to cut my dick off. And I told you, I go, what new fan is going to sit 6 hours through a fucking farm tractor session and Chase Rodman talking Dungeons and Dragons with Tony Laporta?
And then, at least Flo has got better at that. They have their pre-race content, like that new episode series. I think that's a real good time filler,
Well, and then I'm watching it, right? Let's say I'm the brand new fan. I just dropped down my tax return on this fucking $150 for Flo. And I'm watching the race in Las Vegas, and I'm on the edge of my seat, and all of a sudden, holy fuck, everyone's running out of gas. And then all of a sudden, some fucking old bastard says, "Oh, I'm the race director today, and I'm just going to call it off, and we're going to put everyone run out with gas tanks." I'm like, what the fuck is this? This makes no sense. Well, we're starting it over from the point here, and then Kyle wins by a year. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling Flo going, give me my fucking money back. I'm calling my credit card filing a fraud claim. Like, people don't get it. Like, this is you're dealing with people that are hardcore. I live every waking moment live and breathe this shit. I'll spend $1,000 a year on it. Yeah, but that's not the normal human.
No,
that says,
it's
I would
not.
like to be a fan. I would like to be a fan. How do I become a fan? $300, sir. No. I am not paying that.
No, yeah. New person is like, I like it. I'll watch it on YouTube highlights. I'll keep up with it,
Yeah, so I'm playing the role of the fan that ain't spending the money to see if I can get just as much out of it.
Now,
this year.
going to an event, though, you can get new people. So you're saying that's the Outlaws play. That's why they focus in on that, because it's more realistic to get a new person to the track to a race.
I think, though, that's another problem because, in Wisconsin here, in 1 week's time, in my area, I'm going to have High Limits at 141. I'm going to have World of Outlaws at Plymouth. We're going to have Beaver Dam. We're going to have Wilmot.
Angel Park.
All of them, yeah.
Red Cedar, bitch.
And I got buddies that have been to IRA races with me, which is usually like $20, $25. Okay, now Kyle Limits is $70 or whatever.
Is it
They're
really?
They're not going to pay that. They're not going to pay.
Is it $70 in Wisconsin? Is it?
Well, I mean, I heard it was pre-sale was like $55.
No.
Pre-sale was $55
For High Limit.
So at the gate, yeah, at 141.
I gotta see this. We maybe
Look it up. Maybe it's 50.
We're gonna
but
look it up, guys. Oh God.
It's 50 or 55 for pre-sale right now. My friends are not going to buy that. And these guys make six figures. Like, they ain't fucking poor bastards driving DoorDash like your last caller.
You said 141?
Their website sucks. Like, I don't even know.
I can purchase tickets through High Limit right now.
Yeah, well, it's at least 50 pre-sale right now.
General admission, I guess, is 45. A ticket is 50. A reserved seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what general admission is?
That's a lot of room, but
general admission is a grassy knoll. Like there's a grassy hill that is general.
At the very end of the track.
Yeah, and you get pelted with dirt the whole time. It's great.
Oh no, it looks like they're saying general admission is a big grandstand up top, or is it a place you stand?
That's all standing room, and you can't see shit because.
How is that? You're telling me there's only 5 rows of seats?
It's maybe like 10 to 15 rows.
Yeah, they may be knocking it off for something else then. I guess they got some tables too or something.
Yeah, there's a VIP area, but it's not that many rows of seating, so that's all going to be reserved. And then, like,
it
there's...
looks like it's the bottom. Okay, so the track's at the bottom here. This gray line, and then it says general admission is above that, and then it's the top 5 rows that are reserved. That's how Outlaws do it too. Like at KSP,
okay.
it was like the top 5 rows or top 8 rows are reserved, and everything below it is general.
Right.
And that's $45. $20
Right, but that's
for
what
a
I'm saying
kid
is-
ages 6 to 12.
How much?
$20.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, I mean, the kid's fucking trying to fall asleep after an hour
And
of
that's
it,
on a
after an hour of
Tuesday.
farming. Oh, but we're family orientated.
no.
We're getting new fans.
It's $40 for a general admission ticket at Red Cedar, which is, I guess there's no, what about Tuesday at Eagle? Tuesday at Eagle, 50.
So if you bring the wife and kids, you're dropping about $200.
That's
I don't
what
know,
it's
honey.
looking like.
I think kids were staying home tonight.
Well, but think about how many other things you could do for $200. It's not much. You could barely go out to eat with wife and kids for under $200. Barely.
Dude, what in the fuck are, like, I know you don't work,
150.
but, like,
if you got
the
2
fucking-
adults and 2 kids and they all, I'm just saying, like, if y'all go
like,
out to
the
eat.
fuck are these kids 300 pounds? Like, and
No,
eating
if you go out to a
caviar
nice
and-
restaurant, bro, everybody's going to spend $30. So that's what.
A nice restaurant with a 6-year-old? Dude, what the fuck are
People
you talking
do it
about?
all the time, bro. This is
I'm talking about hillbilly dirt fans here.
It costs $150 to get a ticket to a basketball game. I'm talking about reality. People fill those stadiums up every day of the fucking week. $100+
People that go to
$2,000,
basketball don't go to
$4,000. I'm just saying. People
You're
spend
living
this
in
kind of
fantasy
money.
that rich people that like
It's not
real
just rich
sports.
people that go to like football and basketball games. I've went to basketball games. I'm not rich.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is, though, is
Those are $85
nobody
tickets
is
for the
spending
cheap seats.
$200 unless they're diehard nutcase dirt fans to bring the wife and kids to this shit.
No,
That's
what's
what I'm
going to
saying.
happen here on fucking Wisconsin week is you're going to have the tracks are pretty separated. I mean, you're going to have different fans from each little pocket that'll go.
No, it's going to be the exact same fan base because the tracks are like a half hour apart.
It's not going to happen that way. You watch. They'll be the high limit races will be in trouble because I believe they're on the weekend before. Is it not? Or
No, they're in the middle of the
oh,
week.
they're before the Outlaws come, aren't they? Because it's 5 days. You said.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then.
But then they want everyone to crisscross across the state, and then they're trying to run against Jackson.
Well, what is going to help the Outlaws is they're going to get all the high limit drivers. The Wednesday it's Jackson Motorplex versus Red Cedar, which those tracks are pretty fucking close.
Yeah,
that
they're
might
on
be
the
the closest.
Same night.
Yeah, same night. Jackson to Red Cedar is probably
Right, but
3
they're
hours.
not getting the high limit drivers then.
Well, no, what I mean by that is after High Limit does 141 in Red Cedar, and after Jackson is on that Thursday, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday for World of Outlaws that weekend in Wisconsin, and High Limit is off. So what I'm saying is if you're a High Limit guy, you would just go 141 Red Cedar, and then you'd run the 3 days following with the Outlaws for the money.
Well, and that was another point I was going to bring up in this discussion. If I'm High Limit, I'm going to wait for the Outlaws to release their schedule, and then we're gonna piece in our schedule accordingly.
They're already they're basically halfway piggybacking the Outlaws.
You got to. You know why? Why the fuck am I going to pay my drivers my money when I can just have the Outlaws pay them?
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
And guess what?
It ends.
All those drivers are all young rich daddy's kids racing high limits, and you say, hey, you know, Aiden, Layden, Landon, and all you others, Tanners and Holmeses and all them, y'all can go play with the Outlaws too when we're not racing. Aren't we such a great series? We give you freedom. and they're like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great, Dad. Get out the billfold.
Right.
We're gonna go race some more."
Because look, they run Vado Tuesday, and then they run after this weekend, obviously. And then they run Route 66 in Dodge City April 5th, and they're not back till April 25. Oh, my God, you're so free. But really, next weekend, World of Outlaws are at I-55. The following weekend, they're at Knoxville.
Knoxville, yep.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, why pay them your money? Make them go make someone else pay them.
Now, they did, I would say, kind of fuck them. They diverted on a Wednesday after that Knoxville. I mean, you could have went to Jackson and Hobstock, but they go south to Texarkana, but then High Limit comes through the south for a second swing. And then I think they swing back up just in time for... Oh, they're pretty busy, actually. In May. No, they go and sweep up. And they bounce around. Let me see.
Yeah, and it's not all going to be perfect. Like, I'm just saying, though, when you have the opportunities, make them go get paid by the Outlaws, like, so you don't have to pay them.
Right. And they do that. You know, they do that.
Yeah,
so that'll be the first Outlaw High Limit clash of the season, technically, will be Knoxville in 2 weeks.
Which is brilliant, because think about this.
And I-55 prior week, if you like I-55.
When they got this whole little franchise pyramid MLM marketing scam that they came up with for the High Limit, and they're saying, hey, if you finish 10th in points, you still make, $200,000 or whatever, but you don't get toll money. Well, there's a few variables in there. So let's just say we have, 60 races a year. Okay, we take 60, divide it out by, 200,000. Okay, so that's about a little over $3,000 a race we're getting paid. But that doesn't count towing, everywhere. Obviously, so that's more expense. But then guess what? When we go play with the Outlaws, we're not getting paid. So we're actually going on our own dime to these other tracks, but we feel obligated because kind of everybody else is doing it. So I guess we are too. So in the end, a lot of these kids with daddy's money in this franchise multi-level marketing scam that High Limits came up with are going to go fucking bankrupt.
So you're saying that and I had another person actually very interestingly connected to the World of Outlaws tell me that they believe that High Limit is a never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
Oh, whatever. It's
an unofficial person. They're not even in. They're not a person in the World of Outlaws.
It
But a person
matter.
who thought they knew something. They do believe that it is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And that's what you're saying. That's why that's why it's making me think, because that's
right.
What you're
but
saying.
Here's the other variable. This is a yearly, franchise deal. So next year, okay, this year we got 60 races. Next year we got 80. The following year we got 100. But it still is 10th place gets 200,000. Okay,
right.
Now 100 races, you're only getting $2,000. And not including all the travel.
Okay, so I think people need to know what a pyramid scheme is.
So now I'm working double but getting paid the same. So I'm getting fucked on my little franchise deal. And number two, we can crisscross applesauce the U.S. 5-10 fucking times a year, and these guys are just going to chase all around because I'm a franchise player now. Well, guess what? They're crisscrossing the U.S. like 4 times this year.
Yeah.
And then they're doubling back a few times to Midwest. It's like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
You're going to be broke on your little franchise deal by halfway through the year.
So a pyramid scheme, and how does it work? A pyramid scheme is a fraudulent and unsustainable investment pitch that relies on promising unrealistic returns from imaginary investments. There is no real product that is sold in a pyramid scheme. Participants attempt to make money solely by recruiting new participants into the program.
Yep. That's what it is.
And you're
Because
saying
buying
that is
something
car
has
owners.
No value. You're buying something with no value.
So you're saying that is car owners in this franchise is the unrealistic imaginary thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's really funny to me because
You're saying until an actual check gets cashed out for a franchise ranking, that it's unrealistic until that happens.
well, all you're doing is you're getting a piece of
A paper that says franchise. It looked like it was in black and white. Did you notice that? It was like, did they run out of ink? You couldn't even put some color on the fucking paper? I mean, what was that?
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like if you were, I'm the Chaz fan club president.
I give out little bitty fucking, awards.
Yeah, I'm a Chaz fan club member. I paid $10, and now
complimentary
I'm invested into the Chaz, and I get nothing.
Yeah, it's basically what I do here. You're basically exposing me in the process.
I mean, you ever wonder why Tyler Courtney's kind of not really looked at much right now?
Oh, no. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
I think Clausen Marshall is losing their fucking ass.
But he's the one that stood up for him.
Well, yeah, of course you're going to.
Well, so you're saying he's a believer in the scheme. He's a believer in it. That's what you're saying at that point.
No, you can't piss on the guy that's still paying you money. But I'm saying is the Clausen Marshall thing might be thinking twice about this crisscross applesauce lose our fucking ass again deal.
So I'm looking at this certificate of franchise ownership. This is the thing you give the fan. You're in the Chaz the franchise ownership could basically say Chaz a fan club.
Well, I called it the Brad Sweeten napkin.
Like, when I see this shit though, here's what got me. It's
Brad
like,
signed a napkin for you.
I would have never presented this to a multi-billionaire person like Rico or million or whatever. I mean, what are we talking? It's black and white, Spike. It's literally grayscale. It's like they couldn't afford to print in color.
Yeah. No little gold emblem or nothing.
Nothing. Huh? The High Limit fucking white and black. I mean, what? Look at it. The ink is running on the fucking bottom left, guys. This is supposed to be so valuable, right?
Right.
This is supposed to be valuable. Look, the fucking ink was running out on the piece of paper.
I mean, I think.
Look at this. They present this is a bill, whatever this is what they spent all this money for. And there's flared edges on the places where the black and white print ink was running out on a piece of paper. It ain't even a little plaque. It ain't nothing.
This is where when you kill enough people's dreams and cost a lot of people with money too much money, the sport will die because of it. Now, I'm not saying this sprint car racing's done, but I'm saying the word's going to spread, and there's a lot of people that will not want to get involved in that form of racing then.
Well, that would be the ultimate kind of like, fuck you to dirt if they could accomplish that. So make it very public when they do that.
Kyle's mission is to come in and kill all dirt. He's the kamikaze pilot right now.
You believe so?
Well, and I will say this, just because you've raced a race car or because you've promoted an event once does not mean that you know how to run a national series. And just because you got some billionaire or millionaire or whoever with a flow platform and all this, does that mean they know anything about promoting a national touring sprint car series? No. We hired the PR girl from NASCAR teams. Does that mean anything? No. I'm just being real. And now you're coming up with this multi-level marketing investment, crisscrossing America, downside guarantee you're going to get $200,000. In the end, it's going to be, you're losing your ass. I think Clausen Marshall is seeing, you know what, they may be done with high limits after this year.
But they were the happiest of all when they got this fucking black and white, whatever fucking got printed at UPS store fucking piece of paper, with signatures
Right.
on it.
There probably was an old copy machine at the
That's
Vegas
what I'm
track. And
saying. What the fuck is this, man?
they at the Vegas track, they've dusted off the old copy Xerox.
Oh my
and just
god! Yeah, they got
threw the bitch on
That's
there.
probably the same fucking thing that prints up the lineups and shit. Right there.
There probably was a lineup on the Xerox copy machine from 1996
I
or
wonder
whatever the
if-
hell the last time they drove there.
I wonder if on the back side of the page is like something else printed. They didn't have the money for the fucking fresh paper. They just used something.
Yeah, it's probably recycled the Outlaw program from the last time they raced there.
Oh my god, this is horrible. This is.
And I mean, I'm being
You're
real.
being the biggest downer of the High Limit series ever.
I don't care either way because I'm not a subscriber. I'm a novice fan that's just learning about the sport this year.
You're just tossing the bomb down the hallway and walking out. Bye.
Yep, and I'm just saying that agreement was absolute shit. And if any, it just goes to show you these guys that have money that own teams in dirt racing. I will say this, and I don't give a shit if they come up to me and beat you up or try to beat me up or whatever. They are some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, you all got money and you don't even fucking read what you're getting involved in, and you're losing your ass. Like, seriously, go buy a Subway or a Little Caesars pizza. You'll make more money.
Is it really because of Kyle then? They just said, Kyle's doing it, we're in.
Like I said, just because you race in NASCAR, just because you know how to do this, that, just because you had your flow night in America at Bulls Balls Gap, like just because you did good at those does not mean you know how to run a national series.
So you're saying I'm more qualified?
I mean, they're no more qualified than anyone at this point.
I mean, I was involved with track promotion and doing the stuff, so I mean, I'm just asking.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're no more qualified than the next guy. In fact, there's probably a lot more people that are qualified, and they're in way over their heads, and it's sad that they are making these people sacrifice their financials and make guys waste their money, probably lose their relationships, probably turn gay on the road, things like that.
Yeah, it sounded like you were talking about me for a second. I was like, man, that sounds like a similar story, I've been experiencing these things, Spike.
And then guess what?
You named it in order, even. Keep going.
After it all ends and, the flow experiment dies and, the Brad and Kyle High Limits gets bought by China officially and it just goes under. Yeah. And then NASCAR comes in and buys out World Racing Group, and that's all we got left.
Damn, it's going to go that quick.
Before 2030, yeah.
You think that's it?
I will say this. When you're at it, I know you're in the pits a lot, but when I sit with the peasants in the stands and I talk to the fans.
Right.
Okay, do you realize that there are fans that, I listen to fans talk, and like last year, Brad Sweet was not racing in the World of Outlaws, obviously, right? And people said, yeah, Brad Sweet, he took this year off. Like, they don't know about High Limits.
That just sounds like you're in Wisconsin. There's a lot of dumbasses up in there.
I was in Missouri.
Well,
when I heard these combos.
The Amish.
Missouri. There's no Amish in Missouri.
Yeah, there is.
Saying, like, you're mistaken. You're thinking PA where your baby mama.
The Amish are everywhere, sir.
I am Amish, but
in my point.
I'm just saying there's a lot of fans that, and then I talked to one guy and I said, Kyle and Brad Sweet and a bunch of guys, they got this High Limit Racing series. They're like, what's that? Like, these are guys that go to outlaw races but you know, for years, and they're big fans of the Outlaws. But guess what? Some people don't watch the YouTube. Some people don't subscribe to the Elliott. Some people don't watch the Dirt Tracker. They don't know about the news of the sport.
Right. Which is
you know,
weird.
If all you watched is Dirt Vision and World of Outlaws, there is no mention of High Limit. So how would you even know that it exists, right?
Because Kyle Larson told you.
Well, and that's where NASCAR knows that there is no advertisement as far as for dirt, so
Right.
they can come along and say, "Hey, guess
Trump it
what?
all.
Kyle Larson's racing in Las Vegas on dirt, and Kyle Busch is racing on dirt, and Tyler Gibson's racing on dirt."
Yeah, Tyler Gibson.
Yeah, Ty Gibson, you know, he was a big deal.
Yeah.
Fucking put it in the wall on the first turn. I love it. Fucking just roll that bitch.
Just fucking show him how dangerous this could be.
Yeah. You know, just throw the bitch in the wall. Who cares? I love it.
Oh no.
But see, on that note, did you notice the difference? When Carson Hocevar would race the late models and he'd put the bitch in the wall, what would the announcers in the late models say? Well, it looks like old Carson got gobbled up by Eldora this weekend. You know, they kind of bury him a little.
Right.
Yeah, good luck, Carson. He's going to fly on down to Charlotte for NASCAR tomorrow. So, well, you gave it a whirl, but you only made 2 laps in, buddy. You know, they kind of dig at him.
Right. Whereas sprint car racing came to a stop and
what did Chase Rodman do? Oh, we're so blessed to have Ty Gibson here for 1 lap, and you know, and I don't think it was his fault. I think actually the car just fucking exploded and threw him into the wall. And, and then, you know, 10 laps later, but I just wanted to mention again, Ty Gibson from NASCAR. So great to have him here.
Yep.
It's too bad that he wouldn't be able to race some more. I think he probably would have been top 10 tonight. It's like, what the hell are you guys promoting?
It should have been like, well, I mean, that's what kind of happens when you get into these cars.
Yeah, I'd say, well, Ty, nice try, buddy. Get back over to the asphalt track tomorrow.
Where you belong.
This ain't as easy as it looks, is it, little boy?
Right.
You know?
I felt like Kyle Busch was more respectable in a way than Chase.
Yeah, he even kind of buried him. He goes, well, looks like he needs to get more laps in out there.
Yeah.
He buried him.
Why are we such it goes back to the Colt Trickle deal. It's built this statue of lineage of superiority in the mind of the foundation of the sprint car fan. So when you have a guy come over from there, it's like a god coming down to earth. It's like a encounter of the third kind. You know, it's like they're above us.
And don't you think, though, that everyone is always looking to climb the ladder? I like Chase Rodman, and I think his shows on YouTube are great. And I subscribe to him, even though I don't subscribe to you. And I think that he does a great thing. But don't you think sometimes he's like, hey, if I throw some good highlights in there about the NASCAR guys, maybe NASCAR, some higher up might be listening, and he might say, hey, we're going to make you the Truck Series announcer.
Right.
Or, you know,
because that's how they do it already, you know,
They're looking for the trade-in plan. They're looking to ditch their old lady for the next
Just like Rutledge.
Yeah, the fucking Rutledge.
Just like Rutledge.
He went off to hockey or something.
Yeah. I thought it was a NASCAR team, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, NASCAR team. That's right. He came from hockey. But, yeah, like, you're always looking like, hey, if I promote this guy, maybe someone will hear it and like it, and then I can climb the ladder a little more.
Right. And that's all they're trying to do. Right.
So I think that's where there's always that little bit of kissy ass for the NASCAR
people
drivers on the sprint cars.
But it's also it's also
I don't give a fuck.
It's also that money and power. You know, I think what I say here, where I say, you know, Kyle Larson's NASCAR's bitch, and he better watch what he says about. I mean, he does that. So if Kyle's watching what he says about NASCAR and being always nice, then anyone who works with him or for him should do the same. You know, they don't want to lose their job. You know,
I
so
want
they gotta
I want to touch on,
appease the power structure. You know,
but think about this. We're stroking the NASCAR stars at Vegas, right? And we're really highlighting these stars of NASCAR on dirt to the fans. And then after the race is done, fans come in the pits and come meet the drivers, right? Do you know that they closed off the pits for almost an hour and would not let the fans in the pits after the race because they wanted to allow Ty Gibson and all the other drivers to get the fuck out of there?
right?
So you're promoting these NASCAR stars, and then you're telling the fans to go over and meet them, and then you're locking the gate on them for an hour.
I heard it was locked for way shorter than that, but continue.
I heard 45 minutes, maybe even a little longer. So
Okay.
But think about it. It's like, hey, everyone, come meet these stars, but then it's, no, we're going to lock you out so they can get the fuck away from you.
Well, I mean, that is one thing that when you get more popular, you have to change, you know. I mean, even good examples like maybe even Monster Jam or something, like they have a meeting with the driver's session, you know. You don't just get to walk up in the pits and say hi to everybody all the time. So, that might be the future.
Well, then it's going to be like a 10-hour event. You know what I mean? So it's like that's where...
Right, but they make it an all-day event. Right. The right way to do it is more Monster Jam or Supercross. We need to get away from the failed model of NASCAR. It's a failed model.
And here's a question for you. And and this is me. I'm a novice fan, and I know nothing, and I'm going to know nothing, and that's fine. But why can't you start some of the bullshit a little earlier?
When you say bullshit, you mean?
Well, why can't we have hot laps at
4?
3?
Yeah.
Yeah, like why does it have to be 6 and then it ain't starting until 8? Like why can we push it up a little more?
If there was a successful way to race dirt in the day all the time or close to it, that would be great.
Man, can you imagine?
Our biggest issue is going up against the nightclubs and the concerts and the nightlife. It's a failed, you know, most stuff like this, sporting events, everything you can think of outside of basketball, but even basketball on the weekends stay during the day. Everything else is daytime, except for one game of NFL in one city. You know, nighttime, everyone stays away from it.
Dry out. The track can dry out, and it's just a dust bowl. Like I said, if
it could be successful, that would be the way to get, you know, the thing to do. If you could be done with the race night by 7:30, why would that bother
what
anybody?
I'm thinking is like, can you imagine if you could get it where hot laps were hitting off at noon, qualifying by 1, opening ceremonies by 2 or 3, and then the racing's done by like 6. We're going to have autographs and meet and greets from 6 to 7. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have, you know, food trucks. And then we're going to have a band from 8 to midnight. Dude, that'd be the greatest fucking party ever.
Now, that might be worth $70. It's a day of an event.
Yeah.
You know, you're actually on to something. Back to the farming session, because they farm these fucking tracks so heavily all the time, even when it's at night. Why don't we do hot laps and then farm the fucking track if we need to, and then in 30 minutes we'll have qualifying, and then farm the fucking track if we need to, and in 30 minutes from that we'll have heat races, and then farm the track. But start all this shit at like noon.
Well, and why don't we have the farming be like an actual time thing, right? Where they say, okay, fans, it's 3 o'clock. We're going to farm the track till 4. Head over to the food truck village. and head over. We got a jazz band playing over by the beer tent for the next hour, and at 4:00 we're coming back. Don't worry, we're gonna alert you. The jazz band will let you know. We're gonna have we'll get on the loudspeaker. We'll get the video screen flashing, whatever, so to get back to your seat. And fuck it, maybe I'm having a good time at the jazz band, and we're hanging out and eating some food. Now we're fuck it, I'm just gonna kick it here for a little bit longer. You
Right.
got more options of shit to do, and it's an all-day event. But I get it; it's dusty, it dries out the track.
But if you schedule farm sessions between these things, I don't think you'd have to worry about the dust and everything any more than you do it at night.
Right. And then the main event's going to be, say at 6, and it's going to go till about 7-ish or so, and then from 8 to midnight we're going to have some rock and roll band playing, and it's going to be a hell of a time.
People are saying every track would rubber up. They're just thinking of a normal race night. They don't know what we're describing here, I think. We're describing a scenario where you literally say hot laps are at 12 to 12:30. Hell, make it a session. Stop fucking do it the road course style. Stop making it a thing where only so many cars go out for so much time. Make it from 12 to 12:30 is hot laps. And when we get a set of 6 or 5 cars to the gate, we shut down the one practice session, roll 5 more out. We just keep doing that.
Yeah, it's got to be more concise.
As much as y'all want to go out for 30 minutes, though, from noon to 12:30, we're hot lapping. And then after that, track's going to wear out. It's going to go through all its changes, right? People will learn what the track's going to do. We have an hour off. And in this hour, that's when we have the bands. That's when we have the whatever, and they're reworking the track in this entire hour of prep. It's a whole hour of track prep. And then say at 1:30, we're qualifying.
Yep.
From a completely reworked track. And then,
and some people might say, well, no one's going to show up early. Well, guess what? Turn on Flow at 9 in the morning, and you'll see the off-road truck races are starting at 9 a.m.
All the successful outside of Supercross, all the successful motorsports and sports is daytime shit, man. It's not, they ain't fucking with Friday and Saturday night. Everyone else knows it is a drinking night. And really, I noticed somebody say earlier, oh, they're selling beer. This is why I start to think the dirt track fan base is just a bunch of antisocial drunks. In America, Australia's different, but in America, it's a bunch of antisocial drunks. The
best races are where it's 2-3 nights with camping, and there's all day and night activities going on.
Right.
And I'm not talking about bag toss tournaments and bullshit like that. I'm talking about where you can just be social and have a good time. That's why Knoxville Nationals does so well.
See, and I love those events because you have fun. It ain't just about watching a car while you're drunk and can't walk through the stands.
Yeah, there's if you went to Knoxville Nationals and didn't even go to the races, you still would probably have fun.
I mean, you literally got my YouTube shut down by doing cocaine in a campground.
Right.
I mean, if you're not doing that at Knoxville Nationals, you're not fucking doing Knoxville Nationals. Knoxville Nationals is doing you.
Right.
If you're not doing shrooms and cocaine in the campgrounds and getting people thrown in jail and shit, you ain't doing the Knoxville Nationals. That ain't how you do it. You don't just go there to watch the car.
Well, and then turn it into where a fan, someone that isn't a fan, may want to come because of the camping, because of the music, because of the food, because of just the people.
The experience.
And they might be like, I don't even want to go watch the racing. I'm just here for the atmosphere.
Right. And now gambling's involved, which I don't know why I was not there. But the reason I bring up gambling is I was just about to say the Kentucky Derby. Look at that.
Right.
That's fucking a 45-second minute fucking bullshit horses going around. I mean, what the fuck?
Well, they're
there all day, Spike.
They got prelim races. They got like 30 races before the actual Derby.
Well, I know, but people go there for like the weekend.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying, though. It's all gambling all day, and there's music, and you get dressed in the nines and get drunk, you know? And it's
Kings
like,
Royal, Knoxville Nationals, Super Nationals at Boone are probably the only three that we have that get close to what we're describing.
Fairbury would be the other one.
Fairbury's maybe close. Yes, actually, I would say yes.
That is phenomenal. Of all the
It's too
races
small. I think that's the problem with Fairbury, in my opinion. It's just too small of a facility. You know, there's not a lot of camping.
That's what makes it great, though, man. Like, the whole town embraces it, and, like, imagine just going through a little city in the middle of America, and the whole
like
town
Knoxville,
is full
but
of
the
races.
track's just small. The facility's old. It's not the same.
It's right
as
in the middle of the
Knoxville.
town. Like, I mean, it's like
Right.
right in the houses. Like, it's like right there. It's such a cool thing. And there's bands and food.
Yeah,
and
they get pretty close.
like, they're damn near. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but
Jordan
the
just
beauty
said
of
it. We need more hot women at these events, and this is a reason we don't.
Well, you go to sprint car races. That's your problem. If you go to late models, bro, I'm telling you.
We went to plenty of them. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, you're going to, like, Old Ball City, though. You go to, like, fucking Volusia.
What are you talking about?
Fucking,
I go to the World 100. I go to the Dream. I've gone to these events. What are you talking about?
well, even Eldora is kind of Old Ball Central. Like, I'm saying, like, Fairbury,
I've been there.
Florence for the North-South 100. Like, dude, you, like, that, I mean, North-South 100, it's like 100. I probably counted 100 hot chicks at that.
Okay.
Like, sprint car racing, like,
they're
might
still
be
not single, Spike. That's the problem. At least in the sprint car world, we got single women. You know, it's somebody's.
No, dude, they all are. Like, all these
girlfriend or
girls are
wife.
just fans. They're fans of racing. Like,
and they came
grew
to
up-
the races with their girlfriends like it's a nightclub. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, it's cool to go
they
to
don't.
because
No. You're just full of.
bro,
sprint car hate.
you watch
You're full of sprint car
5'5". You watch 5'5" closeted gay boys.
I went to several late model and sprint car races with you, Spike, and the only times you've got your dick grabbed and ass grabbed and all this other shit, and the one chick from Kansas who is, I guess I got her in trouble with her girlfriend. Those were all sprint car races.
Yeah, and that was
And
fat,
at the late
ugly
model
women.
races, you just walk around and say, "This is great, I love it," and nothing happens. Sprint car races is where you get sexually molested, do drugs, and all this stuff.
Yeah, but I get defiled by old women and ugly women and fat women. I don't want that. Like, I'm talking like.
Remember, we did go to the late models at Knoxville, and what did we get to take home at the end of the night? It was Rutledge to his hotel.
No, that was sprint cars.
No, it wasn't. That was late models.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. He don't work late models or sprint cars. He
was
models.
hired for Knoxville because it was all hands on deck.
It was
for
a
Knoxville.
late model race. We take a fat man back to his hotel.
Nope. That was the Knoxville Nationals.
When you come to sprint car races, you get sexually molested, do coke in the campgrounds, and all this stuff.
It was
I don't
sprint
know how you're
cars.
comparing.
The only late model event we went to was up in Fat Old Ball Nation, which was up in the Northwoods of Wisconsin at Cedar Lake.
Yeah, and then they just brought up Chico. I mean, you go to the Chico bikini contest and all that. I mean, sprint car world.
We were in dude, my point exactly. Cedar Lake, we were in a limo with 18-year-old women.
This is true.
Like,
okay, that's
my
true.
fucking point
That is true.
exactly.
But it was with a sprint car guy who was leaving to Knoxville. And his whole point of why he's not into late model racing is because there's no women. It's true. It is a lot of guys in late model racing. You're full of shit. There's girls in sprint cars, though. That was a sprint car guy in the sprint car family.
Wives and they're all the hanger-ons and like they're all weird.
Okay. And what is the late model woman? What is that?
Fucking prime Southern Belle Americana. Like, these are girls that...
Is true. I mean, I've been around a lot, and geographically, you know, Iowa, Ohio, PA really don't put out the best 9s and 10s. But down there in Tennessee and Virginia, West Virginia, and all them areas, you know, there's some some pretty decent ones. You know, Illinois
Yeah,
has
these
some.
girls at West
but
Virginia
but see, I've been on
even when I
California
was
a
at
lot.
West
I've been in
Virginia,
California a lot, though. There is some hot sprint car fans in California and Arizona.
population, man.
And
like
Arizona.
there's always going to be population where there's population, but like you got
skin
think,
tone matters up north. They're inside for 6 months, so they're fucking pasty white most of the time. You know.
And I lot of these Southern belles that I love that are down in Kentucky and
Georgia
Tennessee,
and
Georgia
the Georgia
that are
peach.
at the track. They're peaches, and I like to call them quarter pounders because they're a quarter of the size of women that usually like. So
okay.
they're about 120 and not 480 like what you like. So that's okay.
Yeah. Because the girl I took to the Knoxville Nationals was 480, right?
She was about 220, but that's okay.
But she was like 6'3".
Well, yeah, she probably was like 220.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's nothing wrong. She's a tall queen.
Grabbing a
She
bag
was
of bones.
Transsexual though, wasn't she?
No, she wasn't transsexual.
I think I saw.
Okay.
When you weren't looking, but
okay.
She leaned over and I saw there was an accessory that maybe
commenter says late models girls, long and thick legs, little waist, big butt, maybe a belly button ring at 2. What?
A 2?
A belly button ring as well is what he means. But
yeah, but blonde. And then you walk up to them and you say, hey, hey, good evening, girls. How are you? You girls having fun? You girls got names or you just look pretty? And
but I've been with the late model
funny.
chick. What do you mean? I've been with the
They're like, yo, you're funny. You're funny.
I've been with the late model chick long term. I mean, what do you mean? She's
that northern cornfed version. It's not the same. She's just a rich kid.
Okay.
Like that's not real late model. Like she's like born into it through gravel money.
Right. Okay. Continue. You're making the distinction. You're talking about the grandstand chick.
I'm talking about the girls that ain't related.
The girls that country songs are made about.
The girls that I've been coming since I was 4 because my mom and daddy are big fans, and now my friends come and we like it a lot and it's fun because.
And I love everybody. Sure, Spike. You could get me a drink. Next thing you know, she can't you don't know where she's at. She wakes up in a hotel.
They got mojitos and Bahamas at this track.
Okay, well.
But it's a beautiful thing.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean now. So.
Then the girls in Iowa, I don't know if you've noticed, but they all look the same.
It is creepy. And they're
blonde.
All sad.
Yeah, they're mopey, sad blondes with kind of thicker ass. Sometimes their thighs might be a little too big, and they don't really have much more in a B cup. And they're just
I didn't find that, but continue.
A lot of them you see, you're kind of like, you're a little bit pear-shaped, but that's okay. And they're very, they like corn. And just they're different, but they all look like they're all related.
It is kind of weird, especially when they get to talking. It's like they're under like the honey hive, and like they're all getting the same. Yeah, they're all alcoholics. They all get the same like reception of what to think too. It's like
I think they're all on a lot
mind.
They're all on depression and anxiety pills.
Yeah, it's true. And they have big insecurity problems. They're always trying to change something, except they won't do nothing to do it. They just get drunk to deal with it.
Their hair colors are usually about 10, 15 years behind.
Yep.
They got the chunky highlights.
Mm-hmm.
The stripper poof. They're rocking the old looks. But
somebody said it's kind of like Ohio. Yep, northern Ohio. Yeah.
And PA, oh man, I didn't see hardly any girls at PA tracks. It was a lot of weird guys, But that's okay.
Oh, and it'll be like if there's a good looking chick, it'll be like 10 guys and then one girl in the pack, and we already know what that means.
Well, what I noticed is if there's a good-looking girl, she's working like at the track, like she's selling,
or she's
selling
OnlyFans
t-shirts,
or whatever, you know.
She's selling T-shirts, she's selling food, drinks.
She's got the driver's the boyfriend type deal. They've already worked their way in.
But all the drivers there look the same. They all have like bad haircut comb overs with glasses. But like kind of like not stylish glasses, but kind of like they're bent and like smudgy frames. Like the lenses are dirty and smudgy.
And so, what about California then? You have no comment?
They're all just like they look like boy band members.
Right, but the girls.
I never been there. I mean, I saw the bikini contest, and I kind of thought they all were like average.
Right. Oh, that's the deal. Any girl that you think's so special. I mean, you can go to any nightclub area and find 20 of them. I mean, it's not hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can find hotter girls at the gas station than at a racetrack.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
But see, that's the thing. Like, you know, if you're the 5 or a 6 out of 10 guy, and you go to somewhere where there's all girls, like you're now like a 9 out of 10 because it's supply and demand. You know.
Right. Which usually where there's a lot of girls, there's a lot of guys, so you got more competition as well. But.
Right, but I mean, imagine a scenario where it's like, you know, like say your girlfriend gets invited to like a baby shower, and you had to stop to drop off the gift because she forgot it because she's dumb or something, and then like you walk in, you're like the only guy besides like the dad there or something, and now you're the hottest guy, you know?
Right, and everybody notices.
Yeah, and they're like, "Ooh, that's your boyfriend?" Yeah, you know.
Right.
But that's all I gotta say. High Limit, biggest freaking pyramid scam, multi-level marketing franchise scam in history. R.I.P. car racing. I know why Donnie's upset. He's seen it before. And when you got these series that come along and fuck shit up, it takes like 10 years to recover from that.
Almost as bad as his motor, right? Situation.
Yeah, and that's something. How hard is it to make a motor? God. They've been making them like 100 years now.
Hey, you've got to get out of the Ford, man. That's the one thing that's destroyed Donnie's career, I think. It looks like it. When I went down the stats, it blew my mind.
I mean, really.
It was that bad.
And I was gonna say, how sad is it that the sprint car world just gobbles you up and spits you out, man? Like Zeb Wise, like nothing, right?
I know, he doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah, who cares? You can't. Roth couldn't put him in to collect the check, I guess.
I was there for his first win in the All-Stars.
I was there for his first win in a midget, but
it was Kokomo on a Sunday night. It was the race Redeem, $26,000 on a Sunday at Kokomo. I actually thought that Kevin Redeem was a woman. I don't tell him that, but like from afar, I thought he was. But he's a man, and I respect him.
Understandable.
But he was locking with his lady, and I was just like, "Who are those chicks?" And then because he has long hair, so. And then I was like, "Oh fuck, that's a guy." So don't tell him that.
Sure.
Don't tell Kevin Redeem that Spike the Barber said that. But
okay.
And I was like, and it was the day he graduated high school, because it was in May or June or something. Like he graduated high school that day. He's 18, and he's the next upstart. He wins the fucking All-Stars the next year or two.
In the tin car.
Kyle and Brad come in and burn the bitch to the ground, and now he is never heard or seen from again, and he's probably working at Taco Bell.
I thought he was at High Limit last year in the 26.
Yeah. I'm saying, though, like, after he won the All-Stars, and then they bought out the All-Stars and burned it to the ground, like, he basically had one more year, and then that was it.
But the All-Stars are back now, so it's fine.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
Which part?
Well, I mean, it's like...
I know where you're going to go. I just want to hear you say it.
I mean, it's like It's like, Chaz, I got this fucking beautiful classic car. Like, it's awesome. You ever seen it? And you're like, yeah, man, that's so cool. And then I'm like, dude, I'm just going to drive this thing off a fucking cliff. and then I go, guess what? My classic car's back. And then you look at it, and it looks like I just ran the thing through a grinder.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this, dude? And I'm like, dude, that's my car. My classic car. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
It's been around since 1970.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, it's a piece of shit now. What the fuck did you do to it? No, man. It's still the original 1970.
Yeah, the original Amish wing buggies.
Yeah. And like that, like basically, I mean, you know, obviously nobody knows what the fuck the All-Stars are unless you're just a
well, that would be my point to High Limit and Outlaw loyalists. You know, it's like you keep saying we've been here forever. Well, the All-Stars were here first and no one cares. But
yeah, but then it's like, but now it's just like, you know, the jokes like, you know, I want Taco Bell, and it's like, we have tacos at home, you know, and it's like some shitty ass taco at home,
yeah,
right?
Greasy, falling apart.
Or like the Great Value version, right? Like where they all say like it's like the Walmart brand version. So like now we've got the Great Value Walmart brand version of the All-Stars.
Yeah.
With, you know,
the crash car was a better
upstart.
deal. It's like, I'm going to go get the car from the bottom of the hill, and now you can have it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's the best
one. I just sent the bitch off the cliff, but now you can have it back.
Yeah, go get it. And go get it and bring it back up.
Yeah, bring it back to life. Get the bitch running again.
Get down the motherfucking hill. Go grab it and bring it back up. Go get
and then
it.
People are like, man, this ain't like the All-Stars of old. And the new promoter's like, fuck you, man. How dare you?
And then he's grateful. The guys down there like, thank you, Kyle and Brad, for doing this.
Yeah, like, what are you thanking them for? They gave you a pile of shit. Like, it's just, you should have started your own series with a different name.
And it was somebody else, you know. This farmer guy came across and bought it. He looked down at the bottom of the hill and said, hey, man, I'll buy that from you.
I mean, I hope he didn't spend money on it.
I'm pretty sure that's the story going around. That's the rumor, is he bought it.
Did you know that I bought the All-Stars domain at one point?
I knew it went down. That's when I knew that something was happening, because they lost.
Yeah, like I bought a few domains through the years, and I let it go. And I don't know if the new guy ended up buying it now or what, but it was like All-Stars.
You could have held it ransom.
Yeah, you know, I sold it to him probably for
$10,000
less than what you paid for the whole series. You know,
I don't know about that. I don't know if he did buy it, but I've heard the rumblings that they're like letting him run it for a year and then he's gonna buy it. I don't know the whole deal.
But like, what do you give value to it at, right? Like,
however it looks at the bottom of the fucking mountain, buddy. Go find out.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's no value.
Well, I threw it off a cliff. I mean, go check it out. See what it's like.
Well, and really, is that even a trademark word? Like, I mean, think about it. Like, if they're just like, hey, you know, we're not gonna, what is the guy? Is it Red Farmer? Isn't it the guy that
something like that? I don't know. Red Farmer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so is he just like, hey, fuck you, I'm not buying it next year, you know? So like, couldn't he just
and the funnier part is like High Limit, and then they come back and the whole reintroduction, the All-Stars history, blah, 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 the brand, the blah, blah, blah. And then they turn around. They're like, fuck the World Outlaw brand. We're trying to do something new. That history don't matter. We're going to take it over. You know, it's like, wow. They don't say that in particularly, but it's like they're working on history not mattering in this battle.
Yeah. But like, so let's say Red Farmer bought it. I don't know his name. I think it's Farmer though, right?
It's something Farmer. Yeah, Richard Farmer.
Yeah, Red Farmer buys it. Now next year, Kyle and Brad are like saying, "Hey, you got to give us $100,000 or something crazy,
60.
Right?" Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck you! Like, this ain't worth shit." Like, so, okay.
That means it must have already been bought, I think. That's probably what's happened.
But what I'm saying, my point is, okay, it's the All-Star Circuit of Champions. So let's say Red Farmer says, F you, I'm running in these races next year, and I'm just going to call it the Sprint Car All-Stars or the All-Stars of Sprint Car Racing. Or,
Right.
you know, like, you can't trademark the word All-Star or
Right.
Sprint Car.
Yeah, the NBA has something to say about that, right? So
yeah, so like the now All-Star Circuit of Champions might be a trademark phrase, but like, you know, I think that he basically
people get bullied by that. Like, if I wanted to start making sprint car T-shirts of a fantasy driver named Carl Larson or Kyle Larson and say I spell Kyle Cyle Larson, it's legal, technically.
Right. Well, and I'll also say this, like, and you know, the Steve Sinclair, I hope he's not listening, but and don't tell him that Spike the Barber said this, Steve Sinclair. But a lot of times when you see the IRA sprint cars at county fairs that they run, it'll say on the poster in the fair board may be printing these, so I'm not throwing Steve Sinclair the IRAs under the bus. But it'll say IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars.
Right.
So he ain't getting sued, you know. So I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of words out there that you can use, and I'm just saying, like, Red Farmer should just tell Kyle and Brad to stick it and just call it the All-Star Sprint Cars or something.
All-Star Sprint Car Series.
Yeah.
And
fuck all that spending money on
or
it.
All-Star Racing. You know, High Limit had an issue on naming their stuff. You know, it was All-Star, it was High Limit Sprint Car Series, and they go to High Limit Racing.
Yeah, and even if they had to just say the Sprint Car All-Stars, like you just switch it up and you're fine.
Right.
There ain't no attorney that they got that's gonna even go for that battle. The trademark ain't worth nothing. Like, it's not. They don't have a T-shirt line that's making millions. Like, come on. You know, it's a make-believe name.
Yeah. So that's with Kyle Larson. I could just do Kyle Larson, Cyle, and then Larson, just spell that differently, and start making white, you know, 57 similar looking cars with different lettering on it, you know.
Well, I thought about making a website and just selling vintage sprint car shirts, like just finding the images and putting them on there. Fuck it. Like, what do I care? Who's going to fight me, you know?
Set it up through, like, anytime you access it, it's on the VPN. No one knows.
Well, like password encrypted through TeePublic or whatever or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you ever seen those shirts from the 90s, like the Night Moves and then like Bad News
there used to be like
Fast.
themes. There used to be like theme-based shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I have those files. Like I own those. I don't know if I own them technically, but I have those files.
Really?
To make my own. I could make those shirts like right now.
If you could send me the design, we could sell some shirts, but.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they would sell. Like I like they are.
If
so
you have the
fucking
designs,
cool.
we could start selling them tomorrow. I'll give you a cut. I can do all the work.
Like, dude, they're the best sprint car shirts in history. They're from like
there's like
early
get off
90s.
if you can't run. One was like if you can't run with the big dogs, get off the porch.
And then there's one with the bikini model.
Yeah. And it was like hot and fast or something.
Yeah, or curves or something. But the Night Moves shirt was the greatest. It was right around the time that the Night Moves album came out with whatever singer, I forget who sang that song. But dude, that shirt is money.
You'd have to show us. I have no idea what it looks like. I wonder if it's on eBay. Is it on eBay? I'll type in Night Moves sprint car shirt. It should come up, right?
These guys want like $80 for these shirts, like, because they're vintage. But I'm saying I've got.
Is it the one with the number 1 car on it?
Hold on, I'm texting them all to you right now.
Hold on, I got one up here. It says it's Night Moves.
Look at your texting.
Hold on, look at your screen.
I can't. I'm on the phone with you, so I can't get YouTube to play.
This one has a number 1 car.
Look at your text.
Okay,
They
yeah.
sent you
The
5
one you
picks.
sent was, yes, night moves. It's on the screen right now. Bad news travels fast. Yep, I remember that one. Leader of the pack. Yep. Second
Yeah, I
place
got all
is-
those files.
So
I got all those files.
should this designer sue Talladega Nights for second place is the first loser? It says it right there.
Well, that was just an old saying forever.
But here's another one. They got a couple of vintage ones. Win it or wear it. This one looks cool. They got them on Etsy. Look at that one. Win it or wear
Like
it.
the York Racing Club. I think
They
that
only
was
want
from
$20,
PA.
but
The York PA Racing Club. They used those designs, and then in Wisconsin at the tracks they used to use those designs too.
they got some old school Mark
what it
Kinzer.
was
Look at
is-
that old school Mark Kinzer shirt. That looks clean. $22.
I'm saying, like, dude, let's just make old, like the vintage, channel lock car and the vintage fucking Milwaukee's Best car and all that shit.
Yeah, but when you go to using their logos, that's when you can have some legal issues. But
fuck them. Send me a cease and desist. By then we'll have made like $5,000. You think Milwaukee's Best gets the shit?
Maybe, I don't know. I know Loves did.
Channel Lock Channel Lock. I don't even know if they're in business anymore.
I know that a couple years ago, a guy he made a fantasy design of his car sponsored by Love's Truck Stops, and Love's Truck Stops like sent him a cease and desist for posting it on Facebook. It was just like a deal. And
I know.
he got a that's crazy.
I used to sell bootleg Packer stuff, so like I get it. Like you got to play the game. You got to figure out which ones care and which ones don't.
Dude, these vintage shirts, they need to get back to doing more like these.
That's what I'm saying. Like I own
everybody's shirts now look the same.
Yep, they're all just busy bullshit.
I mean, even those Stu Kinzer shirts were kind of busy, but
right, but they're kind of cool busy. Like, you want the wing to really pronounce,
Mm-hmm.
That's your billboard, you got to have that looking speedy. You got to have the car looking fast.
Look at that old Billy Pouch shirt. That's crazy looking.
Yeah. What happened with you and Tanner Holmes' mom and sister?
I don't know what y'all keep saying. That ain't ever fucking happened, but.
Hey, do you still talk to the great traction control driver, Callum Williamson?
No. I already told you why. I ain't got to go into detail. Leave me alone.
No, I didn't know if he still was looking to come back to America this year.
Everybody's looking to do it. If they can or not is the question.
Is he still living in Stevie Smith's garage?
I don't know. Joey Saldana shirt, Mopar car. Look at that. That's clean.
Well, yeah. Remember where some Chinese Temu kid indie like teeny fashion site used his sprint car image, and then some Weasley fuck in Indiana tattled.
On who? On which who? With Saldana?
So some Chinese teen, because a lot of these teen girls will wear these vintage looking shirts, right?
Yeah.
And it's all knockoffs, right? Well, they had an old design of a Joey Saldana shirt. So China, which owns High Limit, made these shirts for a teeny Temu site. And one of the best selling shirts was the Joey Saldana sprint car shirt.
Really?
And Google that. Google Joey Saldana Chinese teen sprint car shirt or something.
Okay.
And some Weasley fucking Indiana tattled and then sent the site a cease and desist. And supposedly they sued, and then they gave Saldana some money, which probably was fucking $100,
I don't know. What am I supposed to look for now?
Let me look for it.
Joey Saldana China teenage shirt scandal.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Oh my! It was actually popular.
I don't know. Let me.
Yeah, that could take all night to find that.
Oh, here, TikTok famous. Yeah, here I'll send you this link.
No.
It was all over YouTube. It was an interview on YouTube by your buddy Sprint Car Hub.
Oh no! Wait. Can you send me the TikTok link or the YouTube link then, or
Yeah. So like, just look through
the Joey
you
Saldana?
don't have to watch the YouTube, but like on the first page, or if you scroll through it, there's some. They put imagery on the video of the shirt.
Earn with high yield cash.
Oh, Sprint Car Hub. Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he would do the tattletale, or somebody would tattletale, or if he would report the tattletale.
It was like Saldana's,
The
like
modern
some
car.
guy that ran his book face or his website or something tattled. And like,
Well, I
got
mean, at least he
China
got something for it in a way. I guess that's fine, but
So think of this. Like now, what if that shirt becoming viral in China and with American teens made China think, ooh, sprint car racing, that is money. And then they bought the High Limits
right.
with their Kubota tractors, and they own sprint car racing now in America because of that shirt.
This is why sprint car racing will stay gay as fuck forever. Because we finally found a fucking way
Yeah, and they
to
shut
get
it
girls
down.
involved into sprint
Yes.
car racing. And they sue the fucking industry. What?
Dude, like you've got T-shirts of yourself, and
I'm
my
just saying
business,
this was the best. Like, look, there's a girl wearing there's an attractive girl wearing a sprint car shirt. Why did we fuck this up?
because
Why are we so gay?
like some dipshit in Indiana that's his webmaster or something tattled and like cease and desist and got some bullshit attorney involved. And like I said, you've got your own T-shirts. My business is I've got my own T-shirts that have been branded and everything. Dude, if China stole my image or your image and every little teeny bop in America was wearing our fucking shirts, do you think that I'm going to be pissed? I'm going to be like,
I mean,
I
would want to cut him. I'd try to talk to him. I wouldn't be sending no cease and desist. I'd enjoy what they're doing.
I'd be
but
like,
it would
I'd
be
be like,
amazing
hey,
free promotion. Yes, it would be awesome. You would have went viral technically.
Yeah, like I would have been like, I am he.
Right.
I am he.
Right.
Like, I would have, Saldana could have been the next big thing from TikTok, just the star of TikTok, like all the teen girls that have been getting his autograph.
But
Not
see,
a creepy way,
okay. So same aspect, different subject. If say that this is how we do song that I have that everybody likes. Say fucking Morgan Wallen hears it and then makes his own version and goes and makes it world famous. Should I just be okay and happy with that?
Well, you got two choices.
I mean, there's a lot of girls singing my song and getting naked to it now. I'm just saying I would have liked some kind of something out of it. It is my artwork, right? It's the same kind of deal in a way.
Well, you could follow the Saldana, buddy or whatever the fuck his web guy did, and your guy would have said, Wallen, you cannot sing that song anymore, and I want, $5,000.
Yeah, so that's stupid. Yeah.
Or you could say, Wallen, that's my song. Let's keep running with it. Can I get a percentage?
Right. I mean, Jason Aldean did that Dirt Road anthem or whatever. That was originally Colt Ford's, song.
Yeah, so like there's ways to do it where instead of Saldana's buddy telling him to shut her down and fuck you, give us, $500 for it, or whatever the hell. I would have been like, hey, do you want to do another shirt of me? Like,
Right.
I got other designs from, vintage ones.
Right.
Like,
that would have
let's
been
make
smart.
a pink one.
Right.
Let's
yeah.
make a pink
I have
one.
other shirt designs from that year. Let's make it another shirt, now.
Yeah,
let's
like,
make that the new fad.
Yeah, let's tweak it around. We'll make them pink and
But
bright green and whatever.
the moment this sport gets famous with women, it's out. It is the gayest fucking sport in the world. This does it for me right here. It's just the nail in the coffin. I'm gonna try to be a rapper or something. There's no hope here. This is why Tyler Courtney's banging everybody's girls. There's no girls.
And if you watch the video, it's kind of weird because, like, Sprint Car Hub is kind of like, well, how did it feel to be, like, TikTok famous? And, like, all these teen girls are wearing your shirt. And he's just like, I don't know. I really didn't even know it was happening until my web guy or whatever told me about it. And then we filed this cease and desist. And then, like, it's like kind of funny because I think I watched the video a few years ago. So it's
is
been
the
a while,
web guy the other dude in this?
I don't know. But, like, basically, like, then and then, like, obviously Sprint Car Hub was kind of like, well, man, like, what if you'd have kept it going? And next thing you know, like, you're the biggest sprint car driver in the country because of this shirt going viral. And
so they ruined this for 2,000. This has 1,600 views. It was posted 4 years ago. Like, they didn't.
Yeah, and then, like, it's kind of like they both don't even, like, not Sprint Car Hub, but Saldana and the other guy just don't even get it. They're just like, yeah, I mean, I just didn't really understand what even this is and why they even would want to wear it. And, they gave us a little bit for it, but we just wanted them to stop.
He even said that the girl who was worried, or the person in charge, was like, she responded and kind of told me what was going on. She said, let's work something out. Let's work something out with the positive income or outcome for everyone involved. And they just, like, I guess, shut her down.
Right, that's what I'm saying is, like, they didn't even realize it's like they were TikTok famous and fashion famous, and they just are like, shut that shit down. And, yeah, you better give us some percentage of this, like, it was almost like they came in guns blazing like assholes.
Yeah, that's the dirt world for you.
And then it's funny because, like, I think his son or daughter, I know he's got a son, but maybe even his daughter, like I said, it's been years since I watched the video, but they were like, oh, wow, Dad, like, you're fucking, you're TikTok famous. And
you're
he's
cool.
Kind of like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, fuck them, give me my money.
Old,
and I'm just like, wow.
And gay. The dirt racing world will always be old and gay.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't believe that this has happened. Do you see how hot? I mean, I can't even see your face, but I could see enough. I mean, what are we doing here, guys?
I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Like,
I did not. This was 4 years ago.
I watched that video, and I was like, what?
This happened during COVID, I guess. That was 2021.
Yeah, true, because that's when all these Chinese
started marketing.
Fashion sites started popping up because everyone's getting mail order clothes.
Yeah, well, and the online store sales skyrocketed because nobody could go to the real stores.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. And Joey Saldana was a part of it in his modder car.
And I was thinking, like, I don't think that I would have been mad at them for bootlegging me. I think I would have been like, this is great. Like, I'm going to see if I can springboard this into other things.
Yeah, like, Joey Saldana could technically be the biggest entity in sprint car racing right now if he would have played that right.
It doesn't even drive,
Like Tanner Holmes would be his bitch if they would have played this right. I mean, think about it. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm serious.
Tanner Holmes and these guys, I mean, there's so many YouTube channels. I know it's hard to get past 10K. We've documented it, but Tanner Holmes and Dirt Tracker and even Hunt the Front are small, little bitty things in the social domain.
I know.
Compared to TikTok models and shit, you had your opportunity to become like Tanner Holmes times 15 or 20. World famous.
What I would have done.
World famous. He could have saved sprint car racing with this.
What I would have done if I was Saldana is, you know, I'd have been like, I would have springboarded into TikTok and to YouTube and said, hey, that's me. I'm the dad now.
Here's
I'm as
sprint
old as
car
the dad,
racing, you know, and here's what we
but
do.
my son is an upstart, and look at him.
Right. Let's wear one
and
of
then
his.
you create a line of shirts for the boy, and then he's going to be TikTok famous because dad's cool because dad had the cool shirt, and now the boy's cool, and now you just created 2 stars out of it.
Right.
And then they can come out and see the boy and dad if they want. They'll be there too. You know, like
they talk about stuff like this as like part of the metaverse in a way, even though that's a slang term.
Right.
But he could have been like a Nike of TikTok. Like, think about it. He could have been a brand, like the 71 model car, the Joey Saldana, the name, all of it could have been like Nike for TikTok.
Yeah. And I don't know if
that's fucking so short-sighted and dumb. But that's sprint car racing. That's sprint car
and I don't know if you know it, but like kids are into the 90s vintage shirts.
Yeah, like I know that a lot of people wear like the old school Jeff Gordon with the big designs across the front. Like, yeah, there is that era that came in that where you wanted like just a little front logo and then a big back logo like you see our shit now. But our sport's like 10 years behind, you know. That was 10 years ago you know, and now it's moved back to the big obnoxious looking multicolored designs on the front and the back, or just the front only, you know.
Like at the gym, like I seen a girl
back to Donny Schatz and OBJ, you know.
Yeah, like that just was fashionable at the time. Like a couple of years ago at the gym, there was a girl wearing like a Jeff Gordon Rainbow Warrior shirt, and it was like, you know, like she's this tiny high schooler, and she's wearing it's like a 2XL, right? So it's like down to her knees, like, you know.
You were all like about it, I'm sure.
You know, and she's wearing, you know, so it's like it's a fashionable look because it's vintagey, and she's a teeny bop, and like I was like, oh, cool shirt, and she's like, thanks, and then I was like, do you like racing? And she's like, no, it's just like a cool shirt. You know?
Right, yeah.
And I was like,
I saw the Jeff Gordon one earlier that Post Malone wore at one point, and because that's like you said, the big designs on the front are the thing, like the Intimidator. They got a Jeff Gordon or a Dale Senior one here. They got like a picture of him, a fucking car, all this shit. Like they like that now. It ain't about the little simplistic fronts. It's about the big.
No, that's what I'm saying. And like the girls wear it like it's almost like a dress, like it's like oversized. You know?
And it's just like the design is like the color of the dress.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like this big gaudy rainbow fucking car all over it. You know?
Yeah. And that's why Jeff Gordon's popular, because it's got all the colors and girls and the rainbows and all that. It's a fad.
Yeah. And then I was just like, you know, I just thought it was funny because like she had no clue, you know, because I was like, oh, I'm like that guy is like 60, like now.
Yeah, look, like the Superman Steve Kinzer shirt is for sale, $100. Because I bet you that bitch sells a lot because it's got the Superman on there and everything.
Dude, just take the file and bootleg the bitch. Like, fuck it. Well, Craig Kinzer.
Well, Superman will come after you. Fucking Marvel will come after you. I mean, everybody will come after you then. But I know what you're saying.
Craig Kinzer was selling a bunch of bootlegs of his dad's shirts. I mean, it's his dad's, so it's not really a bootleg. But I'm saying, like, he was selling, like, newer, like, you know, 25 or 30-year anniversary of whatever the hell, the green car, the green shirts and all that.
Yeah,
like
Kinzer has some pretty good big shirt designs like what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he was selling a few of those a couple of years ago, like out of his merch trailer, brand new ones, though. And it's like he got it. He was like, hey, I'm going to start slinging some of my dad's designs because those are what's in. The kids wear that shit now.
Look at that Bristol Motor Speedway shirt. That's extravagant. Holy shit. Checkers all over it. Jeff Gordon
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, you if you're ever bored on eBay, type in like World of Outlaw shirts or
Let's see it.
sprint car shirts. Dude, I buy shirts on there sometimes for $5-10, like that are awesome. They're used, you know, obviously, but like I don't want any new shirts. Like I don't like the new designs. Like I buy vintage design stuff, outlaw ones, and
Yeah, Fear
I bought
This,
a
1995. Look at this, 80s. 80s
dude. I bought a
sprint car shirt.
extra XL Mike Marlar hoodie, like from a couple years ago. I just got it today for $8. Like, dude, that's a $40 hoodie.
And it looks like you knew Mark Marlowe from back in the day and shit.
Yeah, and like, dude, it's like, you know, the guy probably bought it on a whim and wore it a few times, and he's like, fuck, it's the blue car. I ain't the blue car no more. I'm like, fuck that. I want the blue car.
Right.
Yeah, so like, you could get like a 20 shirt wardrobe off of eBay for like $100 total.
Or they got like extreme dirt car, like real vintage late models.
There's some PA sprint car stuff on eBay that is phenomenal, dude.
Really?
Oh yeah, but they want like $9 million for these shirts, and they're all just like worn to shit. But like,
Hell, you can
yeah,
get a 2002 National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame shirt.
Yep.
For $20.
There was like a 1980 something. Like, there's a lot of Billy Pouch stuff, vintage ones. There's what the hell is it? What's the Weichert livestock? There's a bunch of there was like vintage livestock ones on there from like the 80s.
Got a 2003 King's Royal shirt.
Dude, there's stuff older than that.
$16.
Like way older.
Must have to type in vintage.
Dude, you ever seen old PA races when they would interview Weichert livestock guy?
No.
Dude, that guy was the fucking man.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because he's like he's a bull farmer that, you know, he's got money and he just, and like he, you know, they interview him. They're like, oh, you know, congrats, Weichert, you know, your car, your team won the race. You know, your driver's great, and he goes, you know, he's like, well, of course we won. We got the best track here, or we got the best car at the track, and none of this competition here could have come even close to us. Like, he just
really?
Shit.
Where is this at? Where? YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Like, dude, the guy was just
what's the name?
The man, dude. Like, he didn't give a fuck.
This is what we're missing in today's world.
And then, like,
where was it at?
Dan Dietrich, you know,
Danny and them's dad.
his dad was like the nicest guy in history.
What the fuck? Hold on, which one
Dude,
is it?
Dan Dietrich was like a fan favorite. He's the most kindest dude on earth.
I gotta know where was, it seems like there's a couple of Weichert interviews.
Yeah, there's a guy that's got old, like, dude, he's got
all these are 15 years and stuff.
Dude, the golfer, what's his name? It's late. I can't use my brain. The golfer in PA that races.
I'm not
the
sure.
Old guy. He's old. He's old now, but, you know.
I'm seeing 3 videos at this interview. I want to find it. This sounds hilarious.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Why the fuck can't I think of his name? He was a pro golfer, and he races sprint cars. He still kicks ass.
I don't know it.
In PA, fans, help me. He drove the 69K for a bit, and then this year he's like in a 12 car or some shit. I don't know. Older guy. He's gray haired now, but his daughter races right now.
Not sure.
Help me out. Help me out. You're the sprint car god. Well, how do you not know who
I
I'm talking
didn't hear
about?
what you said. I mean, I was trying to find this Weicker interview, but
How can you
continue.
not do two things at once?
Because I'm having to read while I'm scrolling, while I'm listening, while I'm supposed to think about what you're saying.
Who is the PA driver who's in his 50s? He pro golfed. His daughter races now. He raced the 69K a couple years ago. He was in the 12 last year.
Oh, Deweese.
Yeah, Lance Deweese. Dude, there's an interview on there from when he's like 16.
Yeah. Oh, let's see if he says something here. Hold on.
He's the nicest kid ever. He's kind of, at the time, he seemed kind of touched in the head a little bit. He's kind of slow.
We work with each other on the car and the motor.
Anyway, I was trying to hear it, but you're... I was just trying to find this. Did you hang up, Spike? Fuck, you did. Sorry. I was trying to play the fucking interview, Spike, that you just hyped us all up about. I'm not trying to let the viewers down. God, Spike. Prima donna. Hello.
I lost you. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, go. You got to go and have an episode in the future of highlights of the best interviews and crazy shit out of PA, because that Weicker guy is phenomenal. Like, young boy Deweese is phenomenal. Fan favorite Dan Dietrich is out of this world. Like, dude, there's one guy, like, he worked the crowd. Like, he would actually, like, he'd win the race, and then he's in victory lane, and you know, he was working the crowd, like, while he's in victory lane, and next thing you know, the crowd's just roaring for him. I was like, dude, this guy, they knew how to entertain.
Yeah, and now they're all fucking image-based little bitches. NASCAR got in their head and destroyed what they think a sprint car or race car driver should act like.
Well, and my only gripe, and I compare late models to sprint cars, right? And a sprint car driver versus a late model victory lane, right? A late model driver gets victory lane, you know, you won the race, congratulations, and they say, man, that was a hard-fought race, you know, so-and-so was racing me hard, and, man, we were really fighting hard out there, and we're just grateful to win, grateful for the fans, blah, 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 right?
Right.
30 seconds in and out. You know, thanks for coming, whatever. The sprint car drivers, God bless them, but they're too detailed. Like, you know, hey, you won the race. How does it feel? Well, you know, lap 3, we were kind of loose, and by lap 5, I almost fucked it up, and lap 11 into 12, I was about a quarter second off my pace. You know, third place was catching me at one point when I dropped the second. Finally got the lead back. I really screwed it up there in lap 23. It's like, dude, I don't know any of this. Like, why are you telling me all this? And why is it all negative talk? Like, why can't you just say, man, I'm just grateful for my crew, grateful for a good race. Second place guy was awesome. Fuck yeah, the fans are here. I love all you. Come out and buy my shirt. You know?
Right.
But it's all just like, let me tell you what a piece of shit I am. Like,
it's pretty sad.
This is why and I started noticing it. It really made me sad. I actually cried for a week. But when Jade Avedizian,
we don't mention that name on the show.
Well, it's fine. I can say any name I want. But, you know, she's been taught to be so self-demeaning and humble that, like, she won a late model pavement race and basically just shit-talked herself and said, like, even though she won, it still isn't good enough. And I was just like, oh, that's so sad. Like, it's so fucking sad. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. If I'm some big name sponsor, I'd be like, I don't want to sponsor that. Like, why do I want to sponsor someone that, like, hates themselves? You know, like, I want someone that's going to be like, I won and we did great. You know, this is weird. Like, she's always kind of like talked herself down every time she's done good. And it's just a weird vibe. Like that, and like no fan wants to hear that.
Right.
You know?
It kind of makes Tanner Holmes videos watchable again. It's true.
I tell you what, it probably wouldn't take much to become the most viral sprint car driver on the YouTube if the guy just knew how to work the crowd and be an entertainer.
Yeah, but he'd get exiled from the sport because everybody's so pansy soft.
Well, and you got to have talent too with it. You know what I mean? Like you can't be like the B main champion. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know. I mean, Hunt the Front and Tanner Holmes ain't really always been impressive.
no, but like I've never watched any of their shit, so like it doesn't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but they're not really entertaining, are they? I mean, Hunt the Front's probably more entertaining than Tanner, but he's not even really that entertaining, and he's been traditionally not up front.
The only guy, I will go on record to say this, the only YouTube channel that's entertaining involving like actual in the pits racing footage is, and Broke Joe will hate this, but it's Caleb Montgomery.
Oh, no. He is good, though.
Like he goes through the pits and interviews the drivers, and it's funny. Like it's funny shit. Like he calls Dominic Shelby the thickness.
Oh God.
Like, dude, that's funny. Like he's like he calls him the thickness. Like that's fucking great. That's great.
That is
what
good.
Do you want? Okay, you don't laugh anymore or what? What's
I mean, I didn't think that was funny, really, but
well, okay, compared to the mute gay boys
I know,
that are on the other channels. Like,
you're saying he's the closest to being funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the most entertaining, and it's not even that funny. Like
Right.
it's just like he's like going around calling guys like funny inside names, and you know, just being like kind of a frat boy. Like I was like, okay, this guy's like the only funny one out there, and it's not even that great. But like that's the pinnacle compared to, you know, whatever the hell else is out there. So it's an untapped market, you know.
Right.
Like, I mean, David Gravel, like, I mean, his stuff is horrible.
Yeah. I mean, it could be better.
I don't know how it could be any better or worse. I mean,
Well, I mean, if he would just be himself, I think he's very shy on camera until he gets drunk or loose. Like when he ran me over with the golf cart at Knoxville, that was great.
That was probably the creepiest night of my life.
That you were there. That's right. That's true.
Yeah, like, dude, when he hit you with that golf cart, it's like he had like this twinkle in his eye, and he was just staring at you with this like smirky grin.
People enjoy to see me around sometimes, Spike. It's true.
It was like kind of romantic almost, and I was just like,
I mean,
I was there as you two looked at each other, and I was like, I'm gonna leave now.
Hey man, you get that inside information from getting inside. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that twinkle in the eye, man, and I ran.
You did. I don't think we could find you for 30 minutes. We didn't know what happened.
I ran through the mud, through the infield.
Oh God! My security
I ran
was out.
to the Casey's General Store and bought candy.
You saw the Querings near Chaz. You're like, all right, time to leave. Shit could happen.
That was funny. Remember how you were all lit and you were like, the queering boy was so fucking bombed off his gourd.
What? Who?
And you're like,
oh yeah,
I'm welcome back at Houston.
Hey man, that's what he said. And then I doubled down.
I'm like, the kid is like fucking a .40 BAC right now. So
he still texts.
He still
texts me all the time. He's still an avid watcher.
He had like the
fentanyl right now.
lean. He had like the fentanyl tweaker lean going on. Like he couldn't even like hold his body up.
That's not true.
And you're like, nope, that's it. I'm back in. I'm allowed back in Houston. I'm like, dude, that's his kid, and he's drunk out of his mind. I really don't think he has full. Nope, he said it. I was like, all right.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was funny. And then all the Australians or the New Zealanders are fun, and the Australians are cool, and
Yeah.
they're the happiest fuckers. Like,
I know. It's crazy.
they all the Australians all look very sooty. Like, it's like their skin is like alligator kind of.
Okay.
They're very weathered looking.
Okay.
They must get a lot of sun in the and they're always very bloodshot and drunk.
Yeah, they are.
They're very drunk.
These are
They're very
characteristics of an Australian.
And I was like, why are you guys so leathery and sooty and drunk? And they were like, mate, that's the way we are.
Okay.
And that was so fun. Like, I was like, I like you guys. You're like actually the only 3 entertaining people here. So.
All right.
And then that old bag grabbed my ass.
Yeah.
'Cause I had a hole in my jeans.
Yeah. Yeah. That you were being sexually molested at Knoxville.
Do you still talk to Sean and Connie?
Yes. Yeah, all the time. I should be
How
up
they
there in
doing?
2 or 3 weeks. One of the two.
How's their daughter that's of age?
I don't know. What do you mean? Who?
The one that you go, hey, this one, I'll set you up with her. She's your type.
Oh,
She's
with
18.
Sean? Oh, Sean. I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't keep up.
You bastard. Like, it was right in the at the dinner table of all places.
Right there in front of everybody.
Yeah, I was ready
Spike
to
will
say
straighten
grace.
her up.
Yeah, I was ready to say grace so we could have chicken tenders, and you were trying to proposition me into a Knoxville relationship.
Well, she kept looking at you, Spike. What am I supposed to say? Just ignore it?
That happens. It's I'm like a train wreck sometimes, you know.
Yeah, and
can't help
somebody's the rail and somebody's the train, right? That's how that
Some
works.
you can't help but look. It's like a T-bone car crash. You're like, damn.
Okay.
Can't stop looking, you know.
Oh God.
It's not a good way. It's like a bad way, you know.
Yeah, it's the fetish way.
That's cool. I like that.
Okay. Are we done
Anyways,
now? You said you're done an
enjoy
hour and a half ago, but
All right. Enjoy your vintage PA videos and enjoy the failure of Joey Saldana's TikTok
that is
career.
so bad.
And hopefully we can bootleg some of those 90s Night Move shirts.
Oh, we will.
All right. Good night.
Bye. Oh my God, the Spike is out. Spike is not here anymore. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. We went 3.5 fucking hours. That's something I didn't want to do, but when Spike gets on here, you could say bye like 6 times, and the conversations are just so good, you go with them. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to go to longlivethechaz.com, get a hat, get a shirt. The Ginger Kitty shirts are on there. Larsonite shirts on there. Chaz logo merch and everything like that. The High Limit Pyramid Scheme. That's what he said, not me. He said it, not me. I just, I have no comment. The only thing I'm going mad and angry at or hyped up about is Donny Schatz needs to get out of a Ford immediately. I'm not letting that go until it happens. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Ready to rip, ready to reach. Place my bets, hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal, peace with the soul, don't matter the bottle with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up.